mind your ears as I click it. I've been getting into the bad habit, I feel like, on stream just generally the past week or so, starting pretty late, being indecisive as far as uh, everything goes past week. Not only on streams, honestly, just in life. I think I've had a indecisive life last couple weeks or week and a half. Mind cloudy, hazy, foggy, but hanging in there. So in an attempt, I'm making sure I don't start too late tonight, so we have some time with Umineko for our Umineko Tuesday reading sesh. The people say, the populace thinks, maybe not as popular as the Saturday streams. Different energies, but wholly necessary. I gotta remember what the hell happened on Saturday. I'll figure this out as we click in. Hopefully here. Bing bong. Get into it. Get into it. Well, apparently the sound of crashing waves of some sort is happening. Uh-oh, why did that happen? Sorry, I'm messing around with things on my desk. Alright, let's, not interested, just let me see. It's about your birth. Oh, yes. The last thing that was said is the talking about the scene, another flashback-ish type thing to the scene where Rudolph is like, Kyrie and Battler, I gotta tell you this thing. I gotta tell you this thing. It's very important, but apparently if I tell you, I'll be killed. And this is all like Battler's, like, he's just tired. Battler seems to be being manipulated by the family on the side of the family who is very much anti Kraus, obviously. Because they seemingly see, I think it was brought up in the last stream, like, man, it's kind of weird to see, like, Eva be so gung-ho for Battler, because shouldn't she be wanting this to be Jessica? And in my head, since that, and I think at the time, but even since then, like, my head's probably just at, like, I think the anti-Kraus having the power is strong enough to outweigh the fact that it's not going to be Jessica. And she can hope that it was going to be Jessica who rose to power kind of thing, as much as she wants. But I think she kind of realized that this is the easier path. And the path to Jessica becoming the one in power is probably very slim to none type situation. That's just my opinion there. So, yes. So, Battler, unsurprisingly, is like, I don't really want to talk about being the head of the family. I mean, that's very classic, seemingly Battler personality type, where he's like, I don't want to even listen to this. He was kind of just goaded into, like, solving the riddle by Erica, right? Like, the whole way through that whole thing, as Erica was, like, hand-holding him, he was like, I don't want to be the head of the family. But, like, it was her and, like, maybe possibly slightly his own curiosity kind of just, like, guiding him into solving the riddle together. My only question is, seeming like, with how crazy the fam, I didn't mean to stop at the fam. The family is about, oh yeah, Byrne controlling him. Oh yeah, because this is a whole thing, she hit the piece. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Technically, Bernie's controlling his piece during that game. Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Also, hello. So basically, then what I was about to say is null and void. So I'll just shut up now. I was gonna say one last point, but it makes less sense now that makes a ton more sense. It's about your birth, my birth. Oh yeah, so we got just a slightly more context to this. So the whole thing about Rudolph being like, I want to share this thing, and then he's like, it's about your birth, and he's like, my birth. So maybe we're getting just teased slightly more with this thing about what Rudolph wants to tell. So that's where we kind of ended there. How's the week going? It's surprisingly it's crazy that it's only been 2 days of the work week. It feels like it should be at least 3. It's been one of those weeks. It's kind of been dragging, but otherwise fine. How's yours been? I need to check I want to see. Good news. Well, that's dope. Always good to hear good news. No tips. Hey, congrats. Congrats. I kind of got the sense that it felt like something that was like slow to kind of like get the ball rolling type situation on that. So that's good. Good to hear. Bit over a month left. Exciting, exciting, exciting. I'm like cleaning off my desk as I'm like getting ready to read here. Oh, so you gotta like move for it and everything? You gotta relocate. Also, I'm kind of just enjoying the crashing waves sound effects as I'm just chilling here. It's a big move, damn. Well, good luck with that. If it was me, damn, 600 miles, that's crazy. That's crazy. I've probably said it many times before. I hate moving. I just hate the process of moving. I'm so bad. Like, I get, like, just the thought of, like, having to, like, move at another point in my life, I'm just, like, gets me, like, anxious. Equivalent of New York City to DC. Interesting. Big city, capital city. Okay, I gotcha. Well, it sounds like you're up for it. Sounds like it sounds, you know what, some people, I just got done saying like, oh, I get anxious about the idea of like moving and stuff. Some people thrive off like a change of scenery type thing. So maybe that'll be your case. Start a new big thing, new big adventure kind of is a nice way to look at it probably. I always say at some point, I'm going to move north. I keep saying it. I don't know if it's ever going to come to fruition. But I truly do. The next time I move a big distance, I want it to be like a dramatic move north. So one day it'll happen. Well, I'm glad that, like I said, I don't even want to rain on the parade of me being like, oh, I hate the idea of moving or whatever, because I very much believe, especially if you're saying you're excited, that's super dope. I'm happy for you. one way or the other, it'll be a big. Sounds like it'll be a big life change, and hopefully, definitely. You know what? No, definitely for the better. Yeah. Hey, that's nervous sounding. That's how would I put it? That's scary sounding, I guess. But it also means it's a lot of opportunity, right? As corny as it sounds, like it's kind of like, I don't want to say a reset on your life, but you basically you get to it's a fresh kind of like, not a full slate clean, but a fresh restart on a good chunk where you can dictate how it kind of goes from there. I mean, I was crazy when I turned 18. I moved states away for college, for university, and it at the time was very crazy, but I still to this day probably the best move I made, like best decision I made, just because like I was able to kind of just leave the under 18 years of my life kind of to the wayside, which I was totally fine with doing, and kind of just slightly now, I don't want to say, it sounds bad to say like change who I was as a person, but it allowed me to kind of like reset certain things in my life. The people I knew, the places I knew, uh, the personality and the kind of person I wanted to be going forward, kind of thing. And I did that, and even though I had previously lived in Texas, like I didn't at the time when I moved, and still to this day, I don't have like any family within any close distance to me or anything at this point. So like at the time, it was like, well, I'm moving away, and I'm also not gonna have anyone I really know, or family or anything. So, but I think it ended up pretty well, I would say. I'm joking. But it was the same state. So now you get to go even on bigger adventure. It's dope. I'll be interested to see. Check it. I'll check in. We'll check in a month or so time and see how the move has gone. What it's like. Let's see. Did I review everything? There was this about this. I think that was everything. I think the last stream was very much, obviously there was this last bit, but the last stream was very much a lot of Battle or reluctantly seeing that he was thrusted into this position, the family around him essentially setting up so that they can use him. More of the anxiousness from Natsui, and of course. No, like I said, I'm genuinely happy. I always like to hear, especially because anytime I'm like, oh, I'm living such a life that's like very like, again, negative connotation or anything to it, but like very repetitive or whatever that I'm currently doing. At the very least, I'm glad to know there are people out there making big changes, but big changes, good changes, making moves out there. So yes, Natsui anxiousness, doing her thing. There was a weird Kinzo ghost in the thing, in the forest. We got another call from the guy who was calling Natsui mommy. That happened, and I think that's about it. So, Bish Bosh, great recap. The sound of crashing waves. The sound of the tide surging. The noise of the sea breeze. Whenever my headache torments me, these are the sounds that fill my head. Unable to bear a successor, I was in a very difficult position with regards to the Yushiromiya family. Whenever I heard of a drug or incense that could make you achieve pregnancy, I tried it. But nothing had any effect. Till I was blessed with Jessica 18 years ago. Oh, we get Natsui background? I was ashamed to even call myself a wife. I gotta turn this up a bit, yeah? There we go. Children are created by the efforts of two people and the whims of heaven. It's not fair to place all the blame on yourself. I still don't know what caused my inability to become pregnant. I even went to see noted physicians. I underwent humiliating examinations. I don't get uncomfortable by a lot of things, and uncomfortable might not be the right term, but the stories of like pregnancy difficulties really hurt, like is really upsetting to me for some reason. I like, not that I squirm or that they're like hard to read, but like I feel very empathetic towards like even obviously this is a fictional story, just like pregnancy difficulties when you're trying to become pregnant is like just something that like to me is like very, I'm always like, ugh. Obviously without going too deep into anything, like I know people personally, people I'll say close to me, who have had to go through long journeys of things like that, and it's tough. It's tough. Natsui here. I feel bad. Humiliating examinations. But I was always just told that they didn't understand the reason. And I'm not saying it's a good thing, but add on to the fact that not only was most likely her inability or her unease of getting pregnant, obviously a rough thing to go through, but obviously it was also jeopardizing her position in the family. That's got to be rough. Even though quite some time had passed since your marriage, you still couldn't bear a child. I see. It's only natural that Eva, who secretly aspired to become the successor, would start getting ideas. Eva tried to convince father that I was a failure as his successor's wife. It was a time when Kinzo was also very disappointed by my husband's repeated business failures. God damn it. On the other hand, Eva's husband Hideyoshi's business was growing well, completely the opposite of my husband's. He was the only person who could bring father good news. So, perhaps father couldn't be blamed if he decided to lend an ear to Eva's words, or even accept them completely. It was all my fault, because I couldn't bear a child. You are sinless. Aren't babies of this country carried here by storks? That's a funny line. If anyone is to be judged, blame the stork. Thank you. However, even though he was still in good health then, the head was already well past his prime. It's not hard to imagine that he wanted to see his grandchildren's faces as soon as possible. Who cares? If he wanted a grandchild, he could have just done what he wanted with that appalling amount of money he had. This is Kinzo, the man who always bragged about how money could create anything.
自慢の金で何とかすればよいもの。
If he wanted a grandchild, why couldn't he just manage something with that money he was so proud of?
そうです。
Yes, that's right.
当主様は子を宿せぬ私を見限られ、
The head gave up on me when I couldn't bear a child,
その通りになされたのです。
and did just that. The head gave to many charities, thinking it the duty of anyone in possession of so much money. One among these, an orphanage known as the Fukuin House, had been given especially large donations, possibly because he had old ties with that place.
ああ、福音の家か。
Ah, the Fukuin
よ
House.
くあそこから家具どもがやってきていたな。
House. Furniture came from that place quite often.
当主様は
We've been told about this place
社会活動と
before.
職業訓練の一環として
To provide on-the-job training and preparations for life as a working adult.
福音の家の子たちの中から成績優秀な子を使用人として受け入れていました。
The head employed Fukuin House members with exceptional grades as servants.
当家にいるシャノンやカノン、ルノンやマノン、レノンなどの音の名を持つ使用人はすべて
All the servants in the mansion with on in their names.
そこからやってきた子たちでした。
Such as Shannon, Cannon, Lunan, Manon, and Leon. Leon came from there.
いろいろな連中がいたな。
There were quite a lot of them, weren't there?
多くはほんの数年で辞めるがな。
Though most quit after just a few years.
当家の給金は数年も働けば十分社会で生活していけるだけ貯まるでしょうし、
That's probably because a few years of wages from working here would earn them more than enough to live on their own.
後ろ宮家での使用人経験は履歴書に通用する立派な肩書きになります。
Experience as a servant for the Ishinomiya family would be a wonderful thing to add to their resume.
それを得て社会へ羽ばたいてくれれば当主様もきっと本望だったでしょう。
I'm sure it was the head's ambition that they would gain for this for themselves and then spread their wings in society.
なるほど。
I see.
養子か。
So, an adopted child.
お父様、
Father?
今何とおっしゃいましたか。
What did you just say?
この赤子を我が孫として迎えよ。
Accept this baby as my grandchild.
おお、よしよしよし。
Oh, there.
よしよしよしよしよし。
There.
よしよし。
There. Apparently the baby that Kumasal was trying to soothe didn't like the study air at all. Wait, is this the origins of the weird phone calling person? It kept on crying, upset.
申し訳ありません。
My apologies, father.
私には何をおっしゃっているのか。
What is it you just...
この赤子を我が孫として迎えよ。
Accept this baby as my grandchild.
そしてクラウスの後を継ぐ者として育てるのだ。
And raise it to be the one who succeeds Kraus. So I want to make sure I didn't miss it. Did they just say that he plucked this baby from the same place that they were plucking the furniture, the servants from, that house? I want to make sure I'm not like confusing this. This wasn't just some random baby he found. But I just wanted it to be like that was what it was saying, right? Or are you trying to posit that maybe this is all in Natsui's head? Interesting. Okay. Accept this baby and go try and raise it to be one who succeeds Kraus.
それはつまり私と夫の子として育てよとおっしゃるのですか。
In other words, You want me to raise this baby as me and my husband's own child?
そうだ。
That's right. God, that's embarrassing.
お前に
Here's a baby
子が
'cause you can't
宿せる
produce
こと
one.
はもはや明白。
It's clear now that you cannot bear children.
お前の体には何かしらの問題があるに違いない。
There must be some sort of defect in your body.
ああ、よしよしよしよしよし。
Oh! There, there.
おお、よしよしよしよしよし。
Oh, there, there. As though she couldn't hear our discussion in the slightest, Kumasala kept on trying to cuddle the baby. This made it cry even louder.
暴言だな。
What nonsense.
女の責任だけで子が産めるなら、この世に男など必要ないわ。
If all responsibility of giving birth to children rested with the woman, there'd be no need for men in this world.
あの日の悔しさを忘れたことはありません。
I've never forgotten the bitter pain I felt that day.
私とて子が欲しくなかったわけがない。
It's not as though I didn't want a child.
でもいくら祈ろうとも身ごもれないのです。
However, no matter how much I prayed, I couldn't get pregnant.
私の体に原因があるのではないかといくつもの名医を訪ね歩きました。
Thinking that something to do with my body might be the cause, I went to see several famous doctors.
しかしそれでもいくら努力しても身ごもれなかったのです。
But even so, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't become pregnant.
その挙句がこの仕打ちではな。
And in the end, this was the result.
察するぞ。
I see. The baby had been picked up by the Fukuin house just recently. Of course, you couldn't help but feel compassion for this child, who was so young and who had already lost its parents' affection. However, it brought me nothing but pain and sadness. It would have been another story if I had suffered to bear this child. But why should I be forced to hold this baby, who not only shared none of my blood, but who was not related to my husband in the slightest either?
お父様を恨んではいません。
I don't hate father.
もし恨めるのなら、ただただ自分の体が恨めしかった。
If anything, I hated my own body.
憎かったんです。
I detested it.
子を宿せぬ我が身がひたすらに憎かった。
I truly detested my own body for being unable to bear a child.
だから私は祈りました。
So I prayed.
天使と悪魔の両方に。
I prayed to both angels and demons.
そしてその両方が叶いました。
And my wishes were granted by both.
天使には何と祈ったか。
For what did you pray to angels?
私の体に奇跡を。
I prayed for a miracle in my body.
私の体に問題があるというなら、それを受け入れましょう。
If there was something wrong with my body, I could accept that.
ならばそれを克服して、どうか夫の子を授かることのできる奇跡を私に。
In that case, I wanted to overcome that defect and somehow be granted the miracle of being given my husband's child.
その願いは叶ったわ。
That wish was granted.
あなたはその次の年に見事にジェシカを産むことになる。
The next year, you gave birth to Jessica.
そして悪魔には何と祈ったか。
And for what did you pray to demons?
悔しい、
I couldn't stand it.
悔しい。
I couldn't stand it.
この身が恨めしい。
I hated my body.
そしてそれを見せつけるかのような。
So, I hated this baby.
この赤ん坊が憎かったんです。
Because it made my failure so apparent.
何を願われたのですか？
What did you wish for?
私は初めて悪魔に祈りました。願いました。
For the first time, I prayed and made wishes to demons.
この赤ん坊が消えてなくなってしまえばいいのにって。
I wish that this baby would just disappear. Baby be gone. Of course, that wish was also granted by demons. On that day, I left the baby with an older servant and went to think about the furniture or future in the rose garden. No, that's a lie. I didn't want to think about anything. The baby's cries were annoying, so I ordered the servant to take the baby to a place where I couldn't hear. by a place where I couldn't hear, I meant somewhere far away. Yes, I wished for it. I wished for the servant to take the baby far away and never return. Damn. Alright, now we're starting to see why this baby might be upset.
なるほど
Well, the baby at the time. Now, seemingly adult, or at least close to adult man. I see.
雪吊りの悪魔が夏日様のその願いを聞いてしまったのですな。
So, a passing demon heard your wish, Natsui-sama.
してどうなったのか。
And then, what happened next?
それは悪魔が願いを叶えてくれたとしか思えない奇妙な事故でした。
After that, there was a bizarre accident that could only have been granted me by a demon. The woodland path from the rose garden to the harbor is probably well suited for a comfortable walk. It must surely feel good to occasionally leave the path and walk through a grove of trees depending on your mood. However, wouldn't the path be fairly hard to travel on when taking a walk with a baby in your arms?
その先は断崖でした。
Oh no, not the cliff. There was a cliff on the other side.
高さは多分10メートルくらいはあったと思います。
It was about 10 meters tall, I think.
下は岩場。
It was rocky below.
そこには柵もあったのです。
There was also a fence there.
その使用人はわざわざそんなところまで赤ん坊を抱いたまま歩いていき、
Does it seem at all likely that the servant went to the trouble of walking there holding a baby,
そして柵に寄りかかったとでも言うのでしょうか。
and then leaned against the fence?
まるで悪魔に手招きされて誘われたとしか思えない。
The only conceivable explanation is that she was lured there by the beckoning of a demon.
誘われちゃったのね。
She was lured there, wasn't she?
あなたの願いを聞いた悪魔がその使用人を招いちゃったんだわ。
By a demon who heard your wish?
それではその使用人と赤ん坊は
And then, the servant and the baby.
死にました。
They died.
崖から転落して下の岩場
They fell from the cliff down to the rocks below.
に。いえ、私が願ったから死んだ。
No, they died because I wished it.
だからこれは
That means this is...
そなたのせいではない。
It isn't your fault.
その先を考える必要はないぞ。
There's no need to think about it any further.
私が願ったから。
But it happened because I wished it.
いいや、違う。
No, that's wrong.
願えども叶えるか否かは神と悪魔と魔女の気まぐれ。
Even if you wish for something, whether it comes true or not is decided by the whims of gods, demons, and witches.
そなたに罪はない。
You are sinless.
人間に罪はない。
Humans are sinless.
わらわが殺したことにしてもよい。
You can even say that I killed them.
いや、わらわが殺した。
No, I did kill them.
嘆くそなたを不憫に思い、わらわが赤子を連れた使用人を崖へいざない、その下に導いたのだ。
I saw your mourning and felt pity, so I lured the servant with the baby to the cliff and guided them down it.
不幸な事故があっただけではありませんか。
Wasn't it just an unfortunate accident?
事故で納得がいかなくば我らの仕業に。
If you can't accept it as an accident, blame it on us.
そのための悪魔でございますよ。
That's why demons exist.
そうだわ。
That's right.
私たちはそのためにいるのだもの。
We're here for your sake.
あなたが殺したわけもない。
It's not like you killed them.
私たちが殺したのよ。
We killed them.
だからあなたには何の罪もない。
So you are sinless.
だからどうか自身を責めないで、夏日。
So please, don't blame yourself, Natsui.
そうでしょうか。
Is that true?
本当に私に罪はないのでしょうか。
Am I truly sinless?
ああ、ないぞ。
Yeah, you are. ほはははは
19年前の復讐を名乗るワーコードめ。
Young one who claims revenge for the events of 19 years ago.
呪うならわらわを呪うがよいわ。
If you're going to curse someone, curse me.
しかし、 呪うは魔女の専売特許よ。
However, witches have a patent on curses.
夏日に売りしその喧嘩わらわが買おうではないか。
Let me take on this fight you're trying to pick with Natsui.
わらわは後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師黄金のベアトリーチェ。
I am the Shiromiya family alchemist, Beatrice the Golden.
使えし主に売りし喧嘩はわらわが買おうぞ。
If anyone picks a fight with the master I serve, I will fight in my master's stead.
19年前の復讐とな。
Revenge for 19 years ago, you say?
千年の魔女の前にその程度の年月瞬きにも足りぬと知れ。
I'll show you that such is hardly a blink of an eye for a witch who's lived 1,000 years. Ah! Yeah, ha 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 ha.
19年前にそなたの死を願った夏日が憎いか。
So, you hate Natsui for wishing your death 19 years ago.
思い出させてやろうぞ。そなたを崖下へ誘ったのは誰かをな。
Let me make you remember just who it was that lured you off that cliff. As the middle-aged female servant cuddled the sobbing baby, she walked on a small path through the trees. Natsui had told her that the baby was too loud, so she tried to get as far from the rose garden as she could. She was completely unaware as to why she'd gone out of her way to head in this direction. However, the sobbing baby suddenly stopped crying. Something was reflected in its eyes, but the servant couldn't tell what. However, thinking that the baby had stopped because it had taken an interest in something, she headed in the direction of the baby's gaze. The baby had seen a cloud of gold butterflies disappearing off into the trees. And, on the other side of the trees, the servant could see a woman. Who? She didn't recognize this person, but it didn't look like anyone who was supposed to be here. The baby stopped crying and stared in that direction. Then, the servant's legs started to automatically carry her that way.
こちらへ来い、女。
Come this way, woman.
その呪われた赤子を抱いてな。
Bring that cursed baby with you. Ah. The woman couldn't disobey. She was completely overwhelmed by Beato's gold glowing eyes. She walked lightly as though through a dream world. At some point, the scenery surrounding her had changed, but she did not notice. She could not notice. Though this should have been Rokenjima, at some point it had become the garden of a mansion she had never seen before. It was a garden she had never set eyes on, even grander than the great rose garden of the Shiromiya family, a garden of gold roses. There stood an arbor, and a woman wearing an elegant dress beckoning to her. There was a man who looked like a butler, and the tea he poured with a beautiful gesture had a very nice and enticing smell. It was as though they were telling her to join their tea party. She couldn't disobey. She had to go to the master of this golden rose garden and give this child an offering. Give this child as an offering.
許せ、女。
Forgive me, woman.
魔女に見入られた不運を呪え。
Curse your bad luck for being entranced by a witch.
そしてこの世で決してめでることかなわぬ黄金のバラに囲まれながら眠れ。
And surrounded by these gold roses, which you would never be able to enjoy in this world. Sleep.
ガップ。
Gap.
はい。了解。
Yes, understood. When Gap snapped her fingers, a pitch black hole opened at the woman's feet and she was swallowed up along with the baby. The scene of the moment that followed must have burned itself into the eyes of the woman and the baby. The two floated in the air and looked down at the gold rose garden spread out below them. Below their feet was not the earth, but a golden rose garden that stretched as far as the eye could see, without any gaps. Oh! If one could have the scene imprinted in their minds as their last memory, that would be such a merciful way to die. Then, the woman and the baby were swallowed up by the golden sea. The thunk was remarkably plain, and remarkably quiet for a sound that stole away 2 lives. However, made for a perfectly suitable show at a tea party of witches. Dang. With the woman and the baby at the center, the rose garden was slowly swallowed up by darkness. The sound of the wind grew stronger bit by bit. Is that TV static? What is that noise? It was the roar of the sea. The two had fallen into the thicket of golden roses from that great height and died. Were gradually wrapped up in the roar of the sea, wrapped up in the scenery of the beach below the cliff. I guarantee it. You are completely sinless. I'll accept this revenge. Yeah, I'll accept this revenge from 19 years ago. Ah, ha, 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 ha.
崖下の二人を見つけ、私は青ざめました。
When I spotted the two of them on the rocks below, I went pale.
そしてお屋敷へ駆け戻り、大騒ぎになりました。
Then, I dashed back to the mansion, and there was a huge uproar.
大至急船で病院に運びましたが、あの高さで即死を免れただけでも奇跡。
They took them to a hospital in a boat as soon as possible, but from that height, it was a miracle that they had even avoided an instant death.
使用人も、
Both the servant
そして赤ん坊も
and the baby
死にました。
died.
私はお父様から赤子を預けられ、3日も経ないうちに殺してしまったのです。
In less than 3 days from the time father had entrusted me with the baby, I had killed it.
主人は出張中でした。
My husband had been on a business trip.
当時まだお屋敷にお住まいだったローザさんもご友人と旅行中でした。
Rosa San, who had lived on the island at the time, had been traveling with her friends.
六軒島には私とお父様しかいなかった。
Father and I were the only ones on Rokinjima,
そして私とお父様以外誰もよく知らぬ間に
and before anyone except father and I really knew anything,
どこからともなく赤ん坊が現れ、そして消えていった。
a baby had appeared out of nowhere, and then disappeared again.
あれはそう、夢なのよ。悪夢。
That's right, it was a dream, a nightmare.
お父様は私を責めるに違いないと思っていました。
I was sure that father would blame me.
しかし何か様子がおかしかった。
However, he seemed somehow strange. Whoa!
読めていたぞ、読めていたぞ、この天罰はな。
I saw this coming. I knew this would happen.
どこまであがくのか。
How long will you struggle?
どこまで我が物にならぬというのか。
How long will it be before you're mine? Oh.
空の檻に興味はない。
I have no interest in an empty cage.
打ち捨てい。
Throw it away! When father learned of the accidental death, he kept on laughing and laughing as though there could be no greater pleasure. Enough that just listening to it gave me a creepy feeling. Perhaps something had come loose in his mind. From that day onwards, father shut himself up inside the world of the occult even more than he had ever had before. When my husband came back, he was surprised to see that father was even more bizarre than he had been before. However, he had already accepted that this would happen sooner or later. Of course, my husband had heard about the baby. However, he told me that it was surely just some whim of father's, and to forget it. So I forgot it. It was an unfortunate accident. No, there wasn't an accident at all. I forgot everything, even that the baby had existed in the first place. After all, it was a twisted nightmare that lasted not even 3 days. That's right, it was all a nightmare. I don't want to remember. The cliff, the broken fence, the roar of the sea, and cry the baby.
その赤ん坊が19年前の赤ん坊だと？
So, this baby is the baby from 19 years ago?
くだらぬ。
Of course not.
わらわが殺した。
I killed that baby.
すでにこの世にはおらぬわ。
It no longer exists in this world.
しかし 赤き真実なきが人間の世界。
However, there's no red truth in the human world.
人間の世界に信用できることなどありません。
Nothing can be trusted there.
そうね。
That's right.
ベアトは確かに殺したわ。
Beato definitely killed that baby.
でも人間の世界では生きていることになっているのかもしれない。
However, you might find out that it's alive in the world of humans.
本当に生きているのかどうかはともかくね。
Whether it's really alive or not, right?
実は生きていたというのですか？
Do you mean to say that it actually survived? Dude, okay. Little pause here. My fucking brain is so scrambled now on what to believe. This is like taking like the unreliable narrator like type situation, you know, in stories like this or in anything. Any stories that involves like an unreliable narrator type thing. It's taking that to like a whole new level because as we've now established, these witches, Renove, Gap, Beato, at least we're being told, is all in her head. And we're to believe mostly, for maybe lack of a better term, or lack of better way to describe it, these are all the different voices inside her head, and she is currently potentially rationalizing not only the event that happened 19 years ago, but how is that linking to what is happening now from the person that's calling her? And she is going, okay, the voices in her head are trying to rationalize so many things at once. It's trying to rationalize, hey, don't feel guilty for this thing that happened to the woman and the baby at that one time. It's not your fault. It's this witch that probably doesn't exist's fault. But then also, then I just forgot about it because it wasn't my problem to deal with. And then, oh, but the baby, surely the baby died in this situation. I mean, the baby fell off the cliff with the woman. Like, of course, and she's like, but I'm getting a call 19 years later from this guy on the phone who's acting like this is him. Like, this could be possibly him. And she's like, there's so many things, like, and maybe intentionally, Natsui's brain is so fucked sounding, it seems like right now, where not only you add all the stresses that she's going through right now. She has a lame business husband. She is trying to hold back the wave of her family coming at her. She's trying to keep up so many lies. You have Battler now solving the riddle. You have Erica coming out of nowhere. Also just washing up on the island. You have so much. And then on top of that, like, Natsui's going actually nuts. Like, she's going crazy. I'm gonna say something. I'm surprised she hasn't just offed herself at this point. Because we're being painted this picture of where she's just, the odds are just ever increasing against her. There's so much going against her in this scenario, in this episode. It's crazy. It's crazy. And yet she persists, and she keeps going. She's gonna just keep up, even if it drives her mad. She's gonna just keep the lies up. Again, like I said, hold back the family that's coming at her. Compensate for her dumb husband. It's madness. I digress. Do you mean to say that it actually survived? After falling to the rocks from that height? Oh, and getting back to my unreliable narrator type situation. I don't know whether to believe, because it's a voice inside of her head telling her not only that the woman and the baby fell off the cliff, but like also her voice in her head trying to take the blame for that happening. But like she wasn't there. She didn't seemingly see it happen. So she doesn't know 100%, it seems, at least from my perspective, exactly what she's questioning herself now. She's like, wait, how would the baby have survived? Did the baby survive? How would it have survived? Did the baby actually go over the cliff? madness. I don't know.
だが落ち着け。
But calm down.
そやつがどうそなたを憎もうとも、真実は事故だ。
No matter how much this person hates you, it was an accident, and that's the truth.
そなたを恨もうなど、お門違いもいいところよ。
If he does hate you, his hatred is completely unjustified. Yeah, I don't envy Natsui's position here.
でも、
But,
たとえ指一本触れていないとしても、私は心の中で。
even if I didn't lay a finger on him, inside my heart,
落ち着け。
there may not be a baby, there may not be a call at all. I mean, if there's not a call at all, she was handed the telephone both times. She was saying, Genji gave her the phone. So unless this is a bigger conspiracy, either a bigger conspiracy against her being spearheaded by Genji, or Genji is also in her fucking head at the moment and is not actually existing. Or Genji is also wrapped up into the madness, and Genji's also just having a time right now. Beatrice says, calm down.
19年前の男が何を恨もうと叫ぼうと、そなたを追及できる罪などあるわけもない。
No matter who the man from 19 years ago hates or what he yells at you, there's no way the sins he's after actually occurred.
だから落ち着け。
So calm down. Obviously, as we all know, telling someone who is freaking out to calm down always works, 100%. Also, how many people can also be in Natsui's head? That's gonna be the biggest secret of this episode. This whole episode, it's only Natsui on this island. Everyone else she's imagining. It's gonna be the thing where, like, you know, like the lame, like, thing of like, oh, it was all in someone's head. It's gonna take that, but like figuratively. It's not like gonna be happening in a dream or anything. It's literally everyone, the whole family. It's not even October 4th or 5th or whatever. It's May. The family conference isn't even happening, and her husband is away on like a business trip, and Jessica is off to school or something, and she's just imagining this is happening. Everyone else isn't there because it's not the family conference time.
19年前の男はわらわの来客として迎えてやろうぞ。
Why don't I welcome the man from 19 years ago as my guest? Oh yes, please, please bring him. I want to see this man. Cackle, cackle, cackle.
碑文の謎を解かれ、お役はごめんかと思っていた矢先だ。
Just when the riddle was solved, I thought my job was finished.
わらわの最後の客としてもてなしてやらねばな。
I've got to entertain this final guest of mine.
面白くなってまいりましたな。
This begins to grow more interesting.
ゴールドスミス教の秘密を守るのに加え、19人目の来客、さらに19年前の男とは。
Not only are you protecting Lord Goldsmith's secret, but you also have a 19th guest, as well as a man from 19 years ago.
そうね。金蔵が生きてると主張する私たちにとって、
True,
エリカは19人目ね。
true. Since we claim that Kinzo's alive, Erica is the 19th person.
その19人目の駒に19年前の男。
And besides the 19th person, we also have a man from 19 years ago.
面白いじゃない。ワクワクするわ。
How interesting. I'm getting all fired up.
相手にとって不足なし。
We have no lack of opponents.
わらわの茶会の来客が一人では物足りないと思っていたところよ。
And I was just lamenting the fact that I had but one guest at my tea party.
来るがよい。愚
か
か者どもめ。
Come, you fools! Natsu is just like, please, no. Please stop. Please. Please. Furuto Erika is Lady Brinkestell's piece. In that case, whose piece is the man from 19 years ago? Oh shit. Mystery piece. I don't know, but let me see them. Let's bring back let's make it almost full circle. Let's bring back, what was that guy's name? The bodyguard guy for Angie? I forget his name, because he kind of came and went. I thought he was going to be a lot more interesting, and I thought he was going to be involved a lot more. And then he kind of was just like there for a bit. Amakusa, yes. Amakusa. I forgot, I was saying it the wrong way. Amakusa. That guy. He seemed like he could have been cool. I felt like when I met him, I thought he had like a lot of potential. And then he kind of just... And then he just kind of... disappeared. Honestly, Sakataro got more screen time than him, which is a travesty. The voice faintly seeping from the other end of the line was Natsui's. He just existed for a bit. Oh, so true. All right, I understand. Oh, we're back into this. Okay, we're back in this moment. Okay, I'll go to sleep right now. I won't leave my room, and I won't pick up the phone. So, don't involve my husband and daughter. But we weren't really told. I just now remembered that she was, like, told to pick up, like, a... What was it, a card or a photo from, like, underneath something? But we weren't told what was on that, right? It was just something that reminded her of that situation, I assume. At first, I thought it was going to be like a picture. I thought it was going to be something brutal, but then I was like, oh, it has something to link to the thing. It was like the thing that she picked up this phone the second time, and he's like, oh, you're going to do what I tell you to do. You're going to fucking pick up the, what was it? Was it underneath a clock or something? Or some kind of piece of furniture, and it was like, pick up the card. I'll let you, this will tell you that I mean business. And then she's like, oh, okay. And then she picked up, like, something. But I don't think it was described, is what I'm saying. Unless I just seriously missed it. Even this begging scream. Oh, yeah, it was the kanji for autumn. True, because she said, oh, I know what your favorite, like, season is, or whatever. That's less. You know what? I'm gonna say kind of lame move. kind of a lame move. Even this begging scream, which could shake the heart of any listener, could be listened to with a cold ruthlessness through the end of the receiver. Here we go. As long as you follow my orders, I will keep your secret, mother. Do not disobey me. Why? Every time he says mother like that, I think of like Sephiroth saying mother. For all the Final Fantasy VII heads out there, or Final Fantasy VII extended universe heads. I just, for some reason, the way he's talking, it's like he just got done playing Final Fantasy VII, and he's like, oh, I want to be as cool as Sephiroth. Do not disobey me. I'm already very close by to you. I can easily tell whether you have turned your lights off or whether you are on the phone. Also, I was gonna first joke, slight joke. He's just like outside he's like not even that far away. He's just like hiding in a bush with like a pair of binoculars, just looking at the window, waiting to see her turn her lights off. Also, I meant to say this, I think in the other stream, but I'll reaffirm it because now I'm thinking it again. What if when Erika and Battler were out finding the golden room, the gold, solving the riddle together, and there was a moment where Battler saw Kinzo as the Force Ghost thing, and he's like, what the hell is that? And then he just like pointed or something, and Battler's like, huh? And then he's like, Kinzo did more things, and then he's like, wait, I can't hear you, but it looks like you're saying something and pointing. What if that was this guy? And like it was dark outside, so you just couldn't see. He was like, or what if it was like, what if that was a thought I had. What if like Battler just kind of thought he saw Kinzo as a ghost, but then it was like, it was just a unspeaking person. It was lame because the man can place all 4 cards on various places, so he'll always get it right. True! A classic magic trick. That was like, dude, okay. Unsurprisingly, as a kid, I was really into magic. Tried to start learning magic a lot when I was a kid. I had like a magic phase. And that's a true trick. I remember you set up beforehand. You set up like a classic trick in a book. You set up 4 like the same kind of thing. You put like different like 4s of something for like the different types of cards: hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades. That's the other one. And then like you have someone draw a card or something, and then you're like, oh, I knew that one was going to be picked. And then you're like, you pick 4 random places, and then you're like, go check look for the card under the whatever that I placed. And then they find it, and they're like, oh shit. You just gotta remember. You just gotta remember where you put each card, because you can't fuck that up. Classic Chris moment. Chris Angel. Yeah, I was practicing to become Chris Angel, the mind freak himself, when I was a kid. I can easily tell whether you have turned your lights off or whether you are on the phone. Okay, no joke. Also, I'll get back to the Umineko here in just a second. That night after we talked about Chris Angel a bunch, as I was doing my normal thing, like I watch a lot of shit as I like start to fall asleep, I watched a lot of like Chris Angel clips I could find on YouTube, just because I was like, you know what, I'm hankering for watching this dumb man. If I wish to, I could even kiss your sleeping face. That's a creepy thing to say. I'll keep it. I'll keep my promise. So stop. So stop it. Just stop it. Stop it! The receiver was slammed down. He knew very well that the way you hang up a phone can leave a nasty aftertaste for the other side. What the fuck? What? Alright, well, okay. Good night, mother. And there you have it. Now Natsui won't come out of her room tonight. This is the most anticlimactic situation I could have ever imagined happening tonight. God damn it. Alright, whatever. Ugh, I'll never recover from this. Bernie says, that's pretty handy. You can change your voice. Anyone can change their voice. A sweet voice when coaxing Papa. A sick-sounding voice when taking the day off school. An apologetic voice when turning down a friend that you actually hate. If you want. I can do any kind of voice at all. Got it? That was my best attempt at that. I tried. You should stop being a witch and become a voice actress. The first one sounded like Belphegor. So are all the pieces set up on both sides now? Furudo Erika? What a wonderful piece. She's a much more suitable piece for you than Angie was, Byrne.
お褒めに預かりまして光栄です。ラブダデルタ卿。
Your praise honors me, Lady Lambda Delta.
こちらこそよろしくよ。
The pleasure is mine.
素敵だわ。
She really is wonderful.
本当に可愛い。
Truly cute.
魔女幻想に屈服させて、その顔を屈辱に歪めてやりたいわ。
I'd like to make her surrender to the illusion of the witch and see her face twist in humiliation.
だそうよ。
Hear that?
私に恥をかかせないでよね。
Don't embarrass me, okay?
エンジェよりはるかに使える駒だってことを見せてちょうだい。
Prove yourself to be a much more useful piece than Angie was.
お任せを。
God, we just can't stop twisting the knife into Angie. Angie's getting shit upon so much and she doesn't even have a chance to defend herself anymore. She was, as you bring up, her last image was her as a burger, and then she's just gone. And this whole episode 5, it might as well have just been fucking Bernie and Lambda here just roasting the shit out of her. It's so upsetting. Justice for Angie. Yes, leave it to me.
ベルンカステル卿、我が主。
Lady Berncastel, my master.
私はあのようなネクラで低能で可愛げのかけらもない駒とは違います。
I'm nothing like that gloomy, dull-witted, totally uncute piece.
本当よね。
She's right.
エンジェなんてクズ肉になってバトラを焚きつける以外何の役にも立たなかったわ。
That Angie didn't do anything useful except get turned into meat chunks to egg Battler on.
家族愛とか兄弟愛とか私たちは全然興味ないの。
I have absolutely no interest in family love or sibling love.
私たちが見たいゲームはもっとえぐくてドロドロしてて。
The game we want to see is more gruesome and sticky. Remember someone, probably Leviathan, calling Angie my master? Gave me PTSD from Erica. Man, I gotta say, Angie fanatics, if they're out there in the fandom, probably a seething anger. How her exit in episode 4, and how she's just being shit talked here in episode 5. So upsetting. I feel for you, Angie fans.
グロテスクでポップでキュートな殺人事件だもの。
I don't know if I read the line previously. The game we want to see is more gruesome and sticky. A grotesque, pop, and cute murder case.
夏日がキングでベアトがクイーンってとこかしら。
If Natsui is the king, then I wonder if that makes Beato the queen.
夏日をかばって群がる魔女と家具たちはチェスの駒というよりは。
The pack of witches and furniture guarding Natsui is less like a set of chess pieces and more like
ボーリングのピンって感じ。
bowling pins, right? Am I one? I assume you're saying of an Angie fan. I try to, I'm trying to be. No, I can't even say that. I was going to say I'm trying to be super impartial to a lot of characters. I think we've talked about many times throughout this whole series about my hate for, fake hate. My fake hate for not a lot of characters, but a good handful of characters here so far. I mean, for God's sake, I think I have the Maria hating zone as a tag here on Twitch. I think Angie's a good... I thought she was a good character. I think she was done kind of dirty in episode 4. This gets me into, my biggest, if I think I'm gonna, at the end of this whole series, I'm probably gonna do just a massive debrief. If I can remember me saying this right now, I would love to do a massive debrief about... And I probably will. I'll probably remember. Just about my thoughts about the whole story. And things about, the structure and everything. I think Angie... Just if I was looking at it objectively, got kind of done dirty by the structure of episode 4, if that makes sense. Because I wasn't, even though there were some interesting parts to episode 4, and I think how it was kind of laid out, added to some of that interesting moments, I think the structure of episode 4 kind of got her as a character, and her introduction and us learning about Angie kind of obfuscated through and kind of like clouded what should have been like, I don't know if obviously I'm doing this off the cuff, so I don't have prepared words or anything, but like I'm saying, like I felt like her whole character arc there in episode 4 was clouded and not as like able to shine just because of the kind of weird structure of episode 4, where it was obviously back and forth. We were seeing Angie in the most present, or I guess the most future tense like moment. And then there was like the weird stretches with Maria a bunch. I think Angie's a cool character, and I liked her personality. I definitely liked her personality, and I liked her opposite Battler, and I think that was the intention. I think her against Battler was an interesting dynamic that then we didn't get to see a ton of, and I think that was taken away from us very quickly to make us feel upset. Does that make sense? Like, she very much was propped up as like the non-battler main character in heavy quotes. She was supposed to be a great, and that's what she ended up serving. That was the things, as they're mentioning even right here. Oh man, Angie, that's such a bummer. She only ended up just stoking the fire of battler. So it's a shame. It's a shame. But here's the thing. We're 4.5 episodes in to this game. I wouldn't be surprised if Angie comes back somehow. I don't think a character like that, she seems too big, too important to just actually just be relegated to being burger status. You know what I mean? Like, I think she's gonna be back somehow, and I hope that in that instance, then we're like, all right, we're getting the true Angie experience. I know I just tossed out a lot of word salad right there. But that's how I'd explain the simple question of, am I an Angie fan? Angie spent way too little time talking to Battler Beatrice compared to talking to Maria Stakes. Yeah, that's the thing. And again, I kind of put that on the structure of how that episode was, because it was weird, because the episode served as like, we're learning all about Angie and her relationship then to Maria, or the thought of Maria, right? It's not the real Maria, seemingly. It's her understanding of Maria through reading all about Maria's own stories, right? So, like, I think just structure-wise, it ended up kind of... It kind of ended up boning, I think, her as a character. Lessening her as a character. And because her arc ended up just being, like, a couple of things, right? It was the whole idea and concept of, like, oh, if someone believes in magic, then magic is real to them. Like, that was an important takeaway from that episode. Also, the Maria thing was... And Maria and Rosa, their relationship and that whole thing was important. Obviously, the end of episode 4 is very important, but I'm talking about the main parts with, like, Angie and everything. We're just not even progressing through Umineko tonight. Now I'm ranting on a different tangent. Oh, you got me started. Angie. Am I a Sakataro fan, though? Yeah, I'm the biggest Sakataro fan that probably exists. Anyone who's watched me, anytime Sakataro has any screen time, they know just how big of a fan I am. Natsu and Beato. Kinzo and illusions of the worthless furniture. Entertain us a bit, will ya? Especially you, Beato. We're already bored of you. This Legend of the Witch Murders game of yours is over already. Your time is over and done with.
このゲーム版はもう私とベルンがいただいたわ。
This game board already belongs to Burn and me.
あんたなんて私たちの駒に落ちぶれて永遠に遊ばれてるのがお似合いよ。
It'll suit you to be reduced to one of our pieces and toyed with for all eternity.
夏日もベアとも薄汚い真実という腹渡を薄皮一枚で包んだだけのズタ袋だわ。
Both Natsui and Beato are like the guts of a filthy truth wrapped up in a bit of thin skin.
それをズタズタに引き裂いて中身を引きずり出すことこそ私の。
Tearing that to bits and dragging the insides out is one of my...
いいえ、私たちの数少ない娯楽なの。
No, one of our few pleasures.
楽しく遊べるわよ。
Yep, you can have tons of fun with it.
ねえ見てる？
Hey, are you watching?
ベアトリーチェ。
Beatrice?
あんたのゲーム版はこんなにも楽しく遊べるのよ。
Look at how much fun can be had playing with your board or game board.
私が見せてあげるわ。
Let me show you.
本当に楽しい第5のゲームをね。
This fifth game's gonna be this fifth game's really gonna be fun. Oh, Beatrice. My girl.
私たちばっかり気持ちよく喋っちゃかわいそうだわ。
It's a bit sad if we're the only ones having a pleasant chat. Also, just because I don't want to, like, spoil potential, character reveals, because I don't know if we've met every character there is in this game yet. But something I've wanted to do, especially now that we're talking about, like, how big of a fan of characters I am. One of the final things we need to do for the series is definitely do a tier list of characters. For my opinion, my rock solid opinion, tier list characters of Umineko when they cry. So add that to the board. I gotta remember to do that towards the end of the year once we finish this. It's a bit sad if we're the only ones having a pleasant chat.
ベアトにも喋らせてあげたら。
Why don't you let Beato talk too?
だそうよ。
Hear that?
特別に発言を許すわ。
I'll give you special permission to talk.
今回のゲームの抱負でも言っちゃったら。
What do you hope to gain from this latest game? Gain from this latest game. Ah!
何もないって。
She said nothing.
そうよねそうよね。
That's right. That's right.
あんたバトルに屈しちゃった負け犬だもんね。
You're the loser who surrendered to Battler.
私に任せなさい。
Leave it to me, okay?
魔女側優勢に一気に流れを変えてあげるから。
I'll put the witch side on top right away.
ただ、あんたという駒はサクリファスさせてもらっちゃうけどね。
But that means I'll have to sacrifice your piece.
気分も第一の番以前にあっさり解かれ、黄金の番人ベアトリーチェも型なしですね。
The epitaph has been easily solved before the first twilight, and Beatrice, the keeper of the gold, has lost face. Giggle, giggle. But am I open to playing the fighting game for a bit after the end? I mean, honestly, I'm down for anything. The short answer is, am I open to it? Yes, I'm open to fucking anything on the stream, right? Like, I like doing whatever. I'm not a big fighting game person, so if you're looking for top tier playing of it, I wouldn't be able there, but I definitely want to check it. I would definitely love to check it out. I don't think this is a spoiler on any side, but like, you know, discussions in with my own friends on my own group chat, whatever, have been talking about Higurashi, right? Potentially after I finish this. And I can't 100% guarantee we'll go to it. But in theory, it would make sense to do that for next year. Possibly. I don't want to commit to it. I have commitment issues as a person. But they were showing me that there's apparently like it might be fan made. I don't know what it was, but it was just a small clip that I saw of like obviously there's no context because I don't know anything about the game, but like there was some fan made like basketball game with like the girl character, some girl characters from Higurashi or whatever, And it just looked very funny to me. It was like a clip inside of like a meme thing that it was showing me, but... let's see. Where did I... Beatrice, Keeper of the Gold has lost face. Giggle. Giggle.
夏日の幻想として駒に残れてよかったじゃない。
Isn't it great that you remain as a piece as part of Natsui's illusion?
ま、もうあんたの扱いは駒じゃなくてピンなんだけどね。
Well, we're treating you as a pin now instead of a piece, okay?
黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェなんてもう出番はないのよ。
Wait, so does this game's fighting game counterpart, does it actually have like a story mode? It's not just, it wouldn't just be like one stream of me just checking it out, just seeing how goofy it is, but it actually has like, does it have like a story mode? Also, I was gonna make the joke. I was gonna say, what's the odds that the ending to this game doesn't stick the landing, and it sours me so much that I don't ever want to check out Higurashi? What's the chance? What is the chance that I just hate the ending to this game so much that I'm just like, I'm never, no more. The Golden Witch Beatrice is out of the picture now.
あんたとその家具たちは私のゲームではほんのちょい役やられ役。
You and your furniture have only a minuscule role in my game. A loser's role.
気持ちよくすっ飛ばされて私とベルのおもちゃにされなさいよ。
Resign yourself to getting blasted away and becoming burns in my toy.
嫌ならやめてって一言言ってみて。
If you don't like that, why not just tell us to stop?
そしたらやめてあげるから。
If you do, we'll stop. They're just torturing her.
嫌じゃないって。
She's saying she doesn't mind.
あんたピン確定ね。
You're totally a pin. Ah ha ha ha. Ah ha ha ha. Man, Bernie was cool in the questions arc. And now it's all, her reputation has just nosedived. There's no need for a golden witch anymore. All that's needed is a sacrificial doll, so the two witches can enjoy some time playing. Die, disappear. Confess to your filthy past and your crimes. Speak out your sob story of regret and repentance as you throw yourself off a cliff and die. The Golden Witch will never again have her turn. Ah ha ha ha. Ah ha 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 ha. Laugh.mp3. Beato. This will probably turn out to be a nasty game. On the surface, it looks very similar to the usual tales. However, there's no respect given to the true main character of the story. This tale was supposed to be the one that the Golden Witch Beatrice invited Ishirumi, a battler, to see. However, the host has been lost. There are no longer any guests. The one who did the inviting and the one who was invited are no longer around in this horrible tale. Welcome to the 5th game. End of the Golden Witch. Welcome to the banquet without the guest of honor, hijacked by the evil witches.
いいバトラー。
Ready, battler?
いよいよ2日目を始めるわよ。
The second day is finally about to start.
私はベアトみたいにとろい展開は嫌いなんだから。
Just like Beato, I hate slow story progression.
好きにしやがれ。
She hates slow story progression, then she would not be a fan of my streams. Burn. I just burned myself. Battle says, just do what you want.
お前が何をかき回そうと、俺は必ずこのゲームの真相にたどり着いてやる。
No matter how much you mess things up, I'll definitely reach the truth of this game.
そうでなくては困ります。
It has to be that way.
妹さんのためにもしっかり戦わなくちゃ。
You've got to fight for your little sister's sake as well. Angie's just been reduced to a name to mention to just rile Battler up.
ご安心を。
Devastating. Don't worry.
ラムダデルタ教はベアトリーチェの間抜けと違い はるかに恐ろしい相手ですが、
Lady Lambda Delta is a far more terrifying opponent than that fool Beatrice.
私がしっかりサポートするので問題ありません。
But I'll be giving you plenty of support, so there won't be any problems.
私と一緒に今度こそ魔女幻想を暴いてやろうではありませんか。
Together with me? Why don't you finally expose the illusion of the witch this time?
お前なんか知らね
I don't give a damn about you.
え。ベアとのゲームにいなかった存在など俺は認めもしないし必要ともしない。
I won't acknowledge anything that didn't exist in Beato's games, so I don't need you.
強がり言ってる場合ですか。
Is now really the time to act tough?
まあお互いせいぜい頑張りましょう。
Oh well, let's both give it our all, okay?
一緒に魔女幻想とやらを引き裂いてやりましょう。
Together, let's tear this illusion of the witch apart. Giggle times 2. Erica offered me her hand to shake. Get that shit away from me. Instead of just passively ignoring this, I gave her proactive and clear answer by knocking her hand aside.
握手は嫌いだそうよ。
Looks like she hates shaking hands,
エンジェと同じなのね。
just like Angie.
ご安心を。
Don't worry,
私はエンジェよりはるかに役立つ駒ですので、
I'm a far more useful piece than Angie.
バトラさんの闘志を回復する以外何もできなかったひき肉とはわけが違います。
I'm nothing at all like shredded meat that couldn't do anything but restore your fighting spirit.
頼もしそうな仲間に恵まれて嬉しいわね。
Isn't it great that you've been blessed with such a helpful looking ally?
かつてはワルギリアにロの上、
In the past, it was Virgilia and Renove.
エンジェまで来てくれたわ。
Then Angie came as well.
そしてとうとうベルにエリカまで。
And now you have Bern and Erica.
あんたを応援してくれるクマたちはこんなにもたくさん。
There are so many pieces supporting you.
それでも未だに真相の尻尾すらつかめない無能っぷりってどんな気持ち？どんな気持ち？
So, how does it feel knowing that you still can't catch on to the truth despite that? How does it feel?
関係ねえな。
It doesn't matter.
これは俺とベアとの戦いだ。
This battle is between me and Beato.
その他の誰であろうと関係ね
Everyone else besides us? Doesn't matter.
ああ、そうなの。
Oh, is that true?
やっと独り立ち。
Are you finally standing on your own?
いっつも誰かに助けられ情けをかけられてばかりのあんたがどこまで一人でできるやら。
You've always had someone helping you, someone sympathetic to you, so I wonder just how far you'll get on your own.
楽しませてもらうわ。
Entertain me.
取り戻すぜ。
I'll grab it and take it back.
これは俺たちのゲームだ。
This is our game.
お前たちはお呼びじゃね
You two aren't wanted here.
ええ、そうよね。
Yes, that's true.
これはあなたたちのゲームだわ。
This is your game.
なら取り戻してごらんなさいよ。
So try taking it back.
手加減だらけだった。ベアとのゲームさえ勝てなかったあんたが。
Let's see how far someone like you, who couldn't even win Beato's games when she went easy on you all over the place.
誰の助けもなく、一切の容赦のないラムダのゲームをどこまで戦えるのか。
Can get in Lambda's completely ruthless game without any help.
ではお目覚めなさい、後ろ宮バトラー。ようこそ10月5日の朝へ。
Well then, wake up, Ishiromiya Battler. Welcome to the morning of October 5th. Let's go. October 5th. Ding dong, wake up. The second day, October 5th, 1986. Was it someone's alarm clock? Beep, beep. An electronic tone repeatedly rang out through the room. Battler, who had gone to bed late and not managed to get enough sleep, covered his head in his blanket and waited for someone to turn off the alarm. But no matter how much time had passed, the electronic tone didn't stop. I see. The point of alarm clock isn't just to be loud enough to wake you, but to be annoying enough to keep you from wanting to fall back asleep. Hey, the alarm's going off. Make it stop, please. Why do waking up voices always get this annoyed? Well, it does make sense. It does make sense. It does makes whatever. After all, people are still sleeping in a bad mood. However, there's absolutely no sign that my annoyed voice had caused anyone to turn over in their sleep, or crawl out of bed to stop the alarm. Letting out a deep sigh, I stumbled to my feet. With the shutters down on the windows, there was almost no light getting in, and the room was as dim as it was and the room was as dim as it had been earlier. Though, even without the shutters, there's no way this dull weather would let in enough sun to make this a pleasant morning. The cousins were still wrapped up in their beds, sound asleep and taking no notice whatsoever of that beeping. Normally, once any one person gets up, the others tend to automatically follow. Annoyed that this law of serial summer camp awakenings that I'd made up had been broken, I searched for the source of the sound. I could hear it coming from a wristwatch set on a table. Judging by the style of the watch, it was probably George and Nikki's. Anyway, when I randomly pushed a small button on the side of it, the sound stopped. Apparently it had been set for 7 o'clock in the morning. Is it already 7? Sorry, but I really don't feel like I slept at all. Playing cards were left on the table as though they had stopped mid-game. The game had probably been 7s. Damn it. I've got this piercing headache. What the hell happened last night? That mountain of gold and the subsequent argument between the relatives all feel like a bad dream. So stupid. Breakfast normally came at 8. Now wasn't a bad time to start getting up and getting dressed. Even those adults probably won't argue in front of the cousins. In that case, I'll stay with my cousins all day long. I'm sure they'll be able to separate me from all this annoying talk about the gold and being the successor and all. In fact, I should have done this from the beginning. I felt disgusting, having slept with my clothes on last night, which caused me to get all sweaty. Guess I'll take a shower. I'm sure the others want to as well. At this age, it's embarrassing to wake them by shaking their shoulders. If I turn the TV on, everyone will probably wake up. Well, let's at least turn the lights on for now. In this dim light, with the quiet sound of the never-ending wind and rain, it really doesn't feel like morning has come yet. I flipped the light switch, and then that dimly lit morning ended. What? The hell was that? Huh? 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 Oh! Huh? George! George! This is just too horrible. How could anyone get away with something like this? As I clung to Aniki's corpse, which would never wake up again, and even Uncle Hideyoshi cried. That's enough. Do you think George-kun would like the two of you to see him this way? Of course not. Aneki. I know how you feel, but let's have Dr. Nanjo handle this. You don't understand. George was killed. George! George! And she's down. Dr. Nanjo's right. We mustn't keep staring at George in such a state. This is for George's sake. We have to restrain ourselves for now. When Aunt Eva tried even harder to cling to that corpse, Dad and Uncle Hideyoshi dragged her away and had a heated debate with her beside the wall. No. No, George! I gotta get by this. Okay.
南條先生、手当てをして。
Dr. Nanjo, help him!
血が足りないなら輸血を。
If he's lost too much blood, do a blood transfusion.
私とジョージは同じ血液型です。
George and I are the same blood type.
だからお願い。
I beg you.
南條先生。
Dr. Nanjo!
エヴァさん、
Eva-san.
お気の毒だが、
It pains me to say this.
今のジョージ君に必要なのはあなたの血ではないのです。
But your blood can't do George-kun any good now. Dr. Nanjo shook his head slightly, then nodded across to where I stood, giving me a signal. I softly pulled the blanket up, covering George Aniki's corpse. Well, this was sudden. His neck was split wide open. It was probably larger and deeper than his mouth. Would covering that part up make the corpse look neat and clean? Of course not. The large amount of lost blood stained the bed a horrible red and black, and even covering him with the blanket couldn't hide the traces. After all, even the blanket had large red-black stains. Covering him with it made his corpse look even more gruesome. So I stripped the blankets off my bed and placed it on top of the first one. But there were only 2 extra blankets, so if we covered one more of the corpses, we wouldn't be able to cover any more. I feel bad about the ones we can't cover. Oh no, but for some reason, times like these make me feel like muttering, "Don't complain about it being unfair," inside my head.
キリエ、
Kyrie,
みんなに毛布をかけてやれ。
put blankets over all of them. Man, this is an interesting way of just really getting to the point of like, alright, here are all the dead people.
風邪をひいちまう。
Wouldn't want them to catch cold.
ええ。
Sure. Harrison and I start covering the other corpses up to their heads with their blankets, just like George and Iki's, so that they wouldn't have to undergo any more shame with their terrible wounds exposed like this. In one bed rested Jessica. Jessica was exactly the same as George and Iki. Though she appeared to be resting quietly in the bed, her neck had been sliced deep and the wound lay open in a brutal way. Maria was the same. Oh, not Maria! Oh, my heart. I'm over it. And not only Maria. There was one more victim. Lying on the same bed as though they'd been sleeping alongside each other was Aunt Rosa. Oh, Aunt Rosa! I'm over that one as well. George, Nikki, Jessica, Maria, and Aunt Rosa. In this room were 4 humans who had been killed, their necks sliced open. Let's go ahead, and I got that noise, so let's hey. Her corpse was found in the cousin's room on the 2nd floor of the guest house. The direct cause of death is unknown, but her neck was sliced open by a sharp blade. The wound was deep enough that anyone could easily confirm death with absolute certainty. Same thing for Maria. Same thing, it looks like, with George, yup, and Jessica. Man, now I'm just, I feel like going on tangents. I feel like there are some characters in this game, if you were like early on, you're like, oh, this is my character and I'm gonna be all about this character. Then you just start getting shafted later on. Like, we talked about Angie and her unfortunate arc there in episode 4. Jessica, she had the cool moment in episode, I think that was 4, right? Where she was fighting Renove. That was kind of cool. But ultimately, the way she died was upsetting. And then she had that cool, like, I think it was pre episode 2 kind of thing. Like, I think it was like beginning of episode 2, where we got to see her in that cool, like, I honestly, I'll say it, the cool, like, school setting and everything. And we learn about her and Canon being, like, interested in each other and everything. And then I had that weird audio glitch happen, and my game was just screaming at us. Good times. Simpler times. But that's like all Jessica has. that's exactly. That's that we had to give birth to the emote there. In this room were 4 humans who had been killed, their necks sliced open. They'd probably been like that since last night. I returned without noticing anything, gotten in bed, and fallen asleep. Jessica annoyed Erica last night. Sure, she got on the nerves of Erica. That's certainly something. All of them had a horizontal cut across their throats. I had been forced to see all the way into the depths of those gashes in everyone's throats. At worst, the wounds might have been deep enough to stretch halfway through their necks. If you tried to open it up, you'd probably be able to see that the gash reached all the way to the bone. The only wounds were the single gashes on each neck. So if you just cover their necks with your hand, you might be able to persuade yourself that they were merely sleeping. But even so, this frighteningly deep wound was incredibly gruesome. There's no such thing as clean or dirty ways of killing. All methods of killing are equally brutal. But even so, brutality here was just horrible. I'm thinking, Erica won't have the pleasure of seeing Jessica's face as she found out Kraus is no longer the successor. Yeah. And there was one more thing that adorned these brutal murders, making them even more unsettling. Drawn very large on the wall was something like an eerie magic circle. It was drawn in a bright red paint that looked like blood. It's the magical circle from Yu-Gi-Oh! I think you lose 700 points, and you can't change your battle position, or something like that. Something like that. My card knowledge is weak right now. And made it look as though some creepy ceremony had taken place in this room, with the 4 of them offered as human sacrifices. However, that wasn't what we were concerned about. No one has a heart so cold that they could witness the deaths of those close to them, and still worry about some scribbles on the wall. Shut up, Erica.
おはようございます、皆さん。
Good morning, everyone.
おや、これは立派な魔法陣で。
Oh, what a wonderful magic circle. The girl who bragged that she drew more pleasure from the process of exposing the truth than the truth itself, and who went so far as to call herself an intellectual rapist, appeared in the hall. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. When she saw the extraordinary creepy magic circle in this gruesome room, I heard what was unmistakably a sigh of admiration escape her lips.
お前は入ってくるんじゃねえ。
You, don't come in here.
さっきから廊下で話を聞かせてもらっています。
I just heard about it in the corridor.
お亡くなりになられたのは4人ですか？
It's 4 people who've passed away, correct?
心よりお悔やみを申し上げます。
Allow me to express my sincere regrets. On Erica's face. No, that's not it. It was in her eyes. In Erica's eyes, I could see an indiscreet smile. That was hard to describe. She found this interesting. She found the outbreak of a crime interesting. It was like the smile of a kid off to the side of the stage just before her turn to appear in a school play.
すまねえな、エリカちゃん。
Sorry, Erica-chan.
取り込み中だ。
We're busy at the moment.
部屋で待っててくれるか。
Could you wait in your room?
そういうわけには参りません。
Well, we can't have that.
現場検証は探偵の権利ですので。
It's the detective's right to investigate the scene.
お前に用はないと言ってんだぜ。
We're saying that we have no business with you.
部外者はおとなしく引っ込んでろ。
Now's the time for outsiders like you to stand back.
現場検証を妨害する容疑者が犯人であるミステリーは三流
In my personal opinion,
というのが私の持論ですか？
only third-rate mysteries have a suspect who tries to interfere with the investigation, and then turns out to be the culprit.
お前の都合など知るか。
Who gives a damn about what you want?
出ていけ。
Get out!
お前なんかお呼びじゃね
You aren't wanted here. Shoo!
え。エリカちゃ
Leave!
ん。
Leave, you freak! Eric-chan.
ほんまにすまんが部屋に戻っててくれんか。
I'm really sorry, but could you go back to your room? I'll say it now. I don't think Battler is above punching a little girl. I don't think he's above it at all. he's gonna like shoulder check her like out. He's just gonna be like, stop.
今は取り込み中なんや。
We're busy right now. George. Cry. George. Poor George. Stand back.
現場検証できません。
I can't investigate the scene like this.
もしそれが必要なら俺たちがするし、警察がする。
If it's necessary, we'll do it ourselves. The police will do it.
お前にみんなの亡骸をさらに恥ずかしめる権利なんかあるわけがねえ。
Like hell, you have the right to bring more shame to everyone's remains than they've already endured. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Hit the alarm. Hit the alarm. Oh, she's doing a thing. Oh, she's doing a thing. Oh, shit. I'm freaking out right now. She's got her own little point. Battler, point back at her. Say something. Do something. Don't let her get away with this. Detective's authority.
探偵はすべての現場を検証する権利を持つ。
The detective has the right to inspect all crime scenes.
そこをどきなさい。後ろ宮バトラー。
Stand back, Yoshiromiya Battler.
これは人間側に認められたゲームの正当な権利よ。
This is an official privilege of this game, which the human side has accepted. Those words, which seemed to be utterly ridiculous at first, were words of power that had come from a world on a much higher plane than the one they were in. Battler was thrown back by an unseen power and landed on his butt. Struck silent by this quiet intensity, nobody was able to prevent Erica from entering the room, suffocated by this bizarre atmosphere. I mean, okay, so we as the readers understand this to be like, yes, she got powers granted to her by because outside of the game board, yada yada yada, right? But to the pieces inside the game board, Battler, the adults, they just witnessed something, a supernatural happening, and I would find it hard not to just believe like, oh no, we're being visited by a demon and or a god. The little girl, Erica, who drifted up on this island, dark-sided demon, or god powers. Unfair.
ご安心を。
Oh yeah, it's just detective powers. Everyone knows in life, when you become a detective, you just have just supernatural abilities. Don't worry.
死者の尊厳を犯すことが目的ではありませんので。
My goal is not to profane the dignity of the deceased.
別に喉の切り口なんておぞましいもの覗きたくありませんし。
It's not like I want to peek into something as disgusting as a slit through someone's neck.
私が知りたいのはもっと別のことです。
I want to know something completely different.
つまりこの殺人を誰が行ったかです。
In other words, who committed these murders?
南條先生、それから皆さん、
I asked Dr. Nanjo and everyone else too.
特に第一発見者のバトラさん、
In particular, the first one to discover them, Battler-san.
いろいろとお尋ねしたいことがありますので、ご協力をお願いします。
There are many things I wanted to question you about, so I request your cooperation.
だから何の権限があってだよ。
Like I said, by what authority are you doing this?
私が探偵だからよ。
Because I am the detective. Balor couldn't argue against this incomprehensible nonsense. No, he wasn't permitted to argue. It was a restriction placed on pieces. Erica summoned Dr. Nanjo and heard the details of his preliminary examination of the corpses. Normally, he wouldn't have spoken of that to an outsider so casually. However, for some reason, the atmosphere about the place had become one in which hiding things from Erica was forbidden.
さて、ラムダの第一の晩、楽しませてもらおうかしら。
Okay, let's enjoy this first twilight of Lambdas.
死体は4つ
4 corpses?
2つ足りないわ。
That's 2 corpses short.
まあ、6人殺す義務もないわけだけど、そういう遊びだしね。
Well, she doesn't necessarily need to have 6 people killed, but that's how we've been playing.
あの子、空気読める子だから、あと2人もどこかで殺してるに違いないわ。
That girl isn't completely clueless, so she must have killed 2 more people somewhere. On the wall was a magic circle representing the first twilight, similar to the ones in Beato's games. Giggle. That girl talks tough, but I wonder just how closely she'll be able to imitate Beato. Giggle. Giggle. Ah ha ha ha. That Hebrew sure is crappy. It isn't written exactly right.
何これ?
Ah, what is a sight for sore eyes here. What the heck? What the heck? Why am I here? Why have I been summoned? What the heck?
どういうこと?
What's going on?
どうして魔法陣が?
Why is there a magic circle?
きっとベアトリーチェ様の真似がしたかったのよ。
What is this? Why is she like Marilyn Monroeing here? is she standing over a grate and like just a bunch of wind going just randomly? Asmodeus says, I'll bet they wanted to copy Beatrice-sama.
へったくそな魔法陣。
What a crappy magic circle. Magic wind.
じゃないわよ。
Magic wind. This isn't just a copycat.
人間の誰かがベアトリーチェ様の仕業に見せかけるためにわざわざ書いたんだわ。
Some human went out of their way to draw that, so they could make it look like Beatrice-sama did this.
とにかくベアトリーチェ様に報告を。
Anyway, let's report to Beatrice-sama about this.
ゴールドスミスの秘密を守る仕事だけでもお腹いっぱいなのに迷惑な話ね。
Wait, did I read the... This isn't... Some human went out of their way to draw that so they could make it look like... Okay. Even though we're already up to our eyeballs just protecting Goldsmith's secret? What a pain.
でも全然美しくない殺人だわ。
But these murders have no beauty to them at all.
別に密室でもないし不可能犯罪でもない。
It isn't really a closed room, and there's nothing impossible about it.
こんな無様な殺人ベアトリーチェ様に全然ふさわしくないわ。
Such pitiful murders aren't worthy of Beatrice-sama at all.
フルドエリカか。
Furudo Erika.
予期せぬ事件に予期せぬ女。
An unexpected crime and an unexpected woman.
そして19年前の予期せぬ男。
And the unexpected man from 19 years ago.
気分はバトラーに解かれるし、今回のゲームは普段とまるで違うわ。
And if you add in the fact that battlers already solved the epitaph, this game is completely different than normal.
何がどうなってるの?
What the heck's going on?
行くわよ。
Let's go.
はいお姉様。
Yes, Oni-sama. Zoop. Zoop, zoop. Ah, Goda. In the kitchen, Goda was preparing a wonderful breakfast at a brisk pace. This cheery music that's playing right now, as Goda is preparing breakfast, seems like it's gonna throw us off. Because we were literally just told, like, there must be, like, 2 other dead people somewhere. And then what, we're gonna smash cut to here, And it's, oh, it's just Goda in the kitchen. Good old Goda, having a good old time. He's gonna, like, open up the fridge, and there's gonna be, like, 2 dead bodies in there. He's gonna open the fridge, and Shannon Cannon will be in there, and he's like, oh, no. In the kitchen, Goda was preparing a wonderful breakfast at a brisk pace. The main dish would be herb omelets. Even simpler foods could become an invigorating feast under Goda's skillful hands. He'd pre-cook everything beforehand and prepare the food in the dining hall right before everyone's eyes. Oh, here we go. Goda hummed as he continued his work in high spirits. No, there she is. Alright, Shannon's safe. When Shannon, who was helping out, saw Goda like this, her mood also brightened. She arranged the salad in a neat little pattern and showed it to Goda. How is this? I think it makes the tomato look a bit cute. Very nice. You really know what you're doing, Shannon-san. The two happy people gave each other a high five. Oh, they're just adorable. Shannon didn't like Goda when he was sneaky. Shannon didn't like Goda when he was sneaky? But she had no problems at all with him when he was cooking happily. When is Goda sneaky? What? What is this? What? The game's just gonna drop this moment of like, man, Shannon really fucking hates Goda when he's a little sneaky bastard. But it's like, what? A new thing about Goda being dropped? A new character trait? If anything, the only time all we've known about, I feel like Goda is he likes cooking. He gets upset when he can't cook people food, and he's kind of cowardly. It said since the start that he's sneaky. Sneaky was a thing. If it was, I must have missed it. Or I mean, clearly, if it did say it, then I must have missed it. That might be on me. Maybe I just obviously couldn't remember, or just didn't really register because it's Goda we're talking about. Let's be honest. Goda likes treating the servants badly. Oh, likes offloading chores on them. Okay, I remember instances like that. I guess that's just not what I'm thinking of when I think of the word sneaky. Sure, Goda's kind of an asshole, but I don't use those two words like interchangeably. It would make more sense. Maybe I'm just picking apart words here, but if it was like, oh, Shan didn't like it when Goda was being an asshole, I'd be like, oh yeah. But like sneaky to me is like he's hiding around corners and but like I guess the whole thing is like he's sneakily an asshole behind like the backs of others. So like outwardly facing to the rest of the family, they don't see him probably be as annoying as he is to the rest of the servants. So I guess there's kind of like that. Whatever. She sometimes even thought it'd be nice if his contract hadn't included any jobs besides cooking. If that had been the case, he wouldn't have had to get in a bad mood doing unnecessary jobs. Kumasawa was safe so far. The dining hall is ready. You can carry it in whenever you want. I don't think they know. I think this is a certified they don't know moment. I don't think they're aware of the deaths that have happened in the other parts of the house. We're almost good to go, so please get the serving cart ready. Without thinking, even Kumasawa caught Goda's high spirits. The kitchen had a very nice smell and atmosphere about it, truly refreshing for so early in the morning. And Cannon's good as well. Then, Ken came back grumpy even this early in the morning, just like he always was. Ken and Genji were in charge of getting many things ready for the morning, such as opening the curtains. However, Cannon was alone today, so it had taken much longer than usual.
終わったよ。
I'm done.
源氏様は
Where's Genji-sama?
まだいらっしゃらないの。
Oh no, Genji. He still isn't here.
珍しいわね。
That's odd.
寝坊されるなんて。
Can't imagine you'd sleep in. But that's the thing. I mean, obviously things can... Things can change, but if that's the 5th, then who would be the 6th? I don't know. Tricky.
あの源氏さんでもお寝坊ね。
I guess even Genji-san sleeps in sometimes. Do you remember the deaths from the start of the chapter? Just vaguely. I only just vaguely remember, like, the mention, but I don't remember, like, any details. I guess even Genji-san sleeps in sometimes. Oh yeah, from when Erika was accusing. Yes. Okay, so I remember she was accusing Natsui. That was that whole thing. Is it better for me to know now, or should I just wait for it to happen? Because that's the thing. The deaths part I don't remember. The thing I do just obviously remember was that Erika was accusing Natsui of it. But I mean, if it's already been technically said, it's not a spoiler. So if you want to go ahead, it's fine. If it's better for me to just see it, then. I mean, the thing is, if I'm looking at... It was Hideyoshi? Huh. So it's going to be a later one, then. Alright, that's rather careless of him, considering that this is the middle of the family conference. Canon-san? Could you wake him for us?
Hi.
Yes.
寝ぼけ眼の源氏さんってどんな顔なのかしら。
I wonder what Genji-san's face looks like when he's half asleep.
私もご一緒しますよ。
Let me go with you. Even though Goda had asked her to get the servant cart ready, Kumasawa plodded off after Kanon, slyly skipping work. As Kanon muttered about how Goda was the one who slept in all the time, he headed for the servant waiting room.
カノンさんは今朝起こさなかったんですか？
So, you didn't wake him up this morning, Kanon-san?
僕は昨夜使用人室でそのまま寝ちゃったんで控室には戻ってないんです。
Last night, I fell asleep while still in the servant room, so I didn't return to the waiting room. Last night, Kanon had dozed off while in the middle of his late-night shift, falling asleep in the servant room. Shannon had been kind enough to put a blanket on him, but that had just made it so warm that he fell into an even deeper sleep. So he hadn't returned to his bed in the servant waiting room the previous night. Because of that, he hadn't met Genji even once this morning. There was a knock on the door.
Genji-sama.
Genji-sama?
カノンです。
It's Kanon.
おはようございます。
Good morning.
あらあら。
Kumasawa, you don't want to see this. Oh my!
まだお休みかしら。
I wonder if he's still sleeping.
失礼します。
Pardon me. When he tried to open the door, Kanon noticed something strange on the upper part of it. What's that? Packing tape? A small strip of packing tape was stuck along the frame of the door, almost as though it was sealing the door shut. Furthermore, there were notches made with scissors along the center of the packing tape. so that if you opened the door only a slight amount, it would be torn apart. There are notches made with scissors along the center. Okay. Also, written sloppily across the packing tape with a thin pen was what appeared to be someone's signature. It was written in a very intricate and decorative manner. So even if it was a signature, there was no way of telling whose it was.
誰かのいたずらでしょうか。
It's probably some sort of prank.
わからないけど、こんなの今は気にしててもしょうがない。
I don't get it, but it's no use worrying about it now.
源氏様。
What a weird thing to say. Oh, it must be a prank. Who in this household would pull that prank? Like, no one in this family gives off prank vibes. You know what I mean? Like, who... Ah, surely it was a prank done by the prankster in this family. Yeah, if anyone, it might have been Kumasawa, but then why? Then it's just like that she's saying it about herself. I don't know, Maria. She's a little mischievous, but I don't know if pranks are like some weird intricate like tape on door prank thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I don't get it, but it's no use worrying about it now. Genji-sama?
失礼します。
Pardon me. Oh no. The packing tape tore apart, and he opened the door. It wasn't as though anything happened when it split, so the two quickly forgot about that strange tape. The tape is going to be important later on, I bet. Seemingly. Wouldn't just be there for no reason. The renowned jokester Kraus. The room was dimly lit. The lower bed of the two-level bunk bed still had a lump under the blanket. Apparently, Genji was still sleeping.
おはようございます。源氏様。
Good morning, Genji-sama.
源氏さんらしくもない。
This isn't like you.
朝でございますよ。
It's morning.
源氏様。
Genji-sama.
なんですかこれは。 なんですかこれは。
Oh, what is this? What is this? There's a large red-black stain on the blanket. Whamp whamp. Even the servants' blankets were always kept clean. A stain like that definitely shouldn't have been there. Cannon hesitantly peeled back Genji's blanket, saw what was left of him, and was shocked into silence. What the heck? His neck's been cut open. It's thin.
相当の刃渡りのものでなければここまでの切り口にはできまい。
You wouldn't be able to leave a cut this deep without a fairly long blade.
どういうことよ。
What's going on?
碑文の謎をバトラが解いたんでしょ。
Battler solved the riddle of the epitaph, right?
どうして殺人が起こるわけ。
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And that's been brought up before too, like just earlier in this episode. That's just... It just like kind of flew over my head, but yeah, murders technically shouldn't be happening. But I assume this is some shenanigans because it's not Bioto running the game, or there must be some other explanation. Or what is it? Occam's razor? I think maybe the simplest explanation is usually the correct one. Maybe the murders aren't tied to the epitaph then, right? It would just be actual murders. Offering ceremony, non-Golden Land murders. I don't know how to say. Oh, what's going on? Battle solved the riddle of the epitaph, right? Why are there murders happening?
わからん。
I don't know.
いずれにせよ厄介なことになるぞ。
In any event, this isn't good.
ベアトリーチェ様とナツキ様にご報告申し上げた方がいい。
We should report this to Beatrice-sama, not Sui-sama.
ベルフェは急いでルシネに報告を。
Belfa, hurry and report to Lucini. Lucini.
心得た。
Lucini. Understood. After dashing out, Kumasawa called Goda and Shannon over. Then, this new pair let out screams identical to the first two.
ちょっとゴーダ
No!
朝食の準備をサボっちゃダメ
Don't stop making breakfast, Goda!
そんなこと言ってる場合じゃないでしょ
Is now really the time to be saying that?
2日目の朝食は決して静かに取れやしないってわけだわ
There's no chance they'll have a quiet and peaceful breakfast on the second day.
嫌な予感がする
I have a bad feeling about this.
源氏だけで済まないかもしれない
Genji might not be the only one.
屋敷内を確認するわよ他にも何か起こっているかもしれない
Let's check the entire mansion. Something else might have happened.
はいお姉様
Yes, Onisama. Natsui sprang awake at the sudden sound of the phone. Sorry, I have to do a thing really quick. Super professional. Streamer here. Perfect. Okay. Natsui sprang awake at the sudden sound of the phone. Even Natsui was surprised that she'd woken up. She thought she'd spend the whole night unable to sleep out of fear that the mysterious man might come in at any moment. But she dozed off before she knew it. Of course, Natsui didn't feel rested at all, though she groaned from the dull pain in her head, which hadn't gone away since last night. She managed to get out of bed.
おはようございます夏日様
Morning, Natsui-sama.
おはよう
Morning.
最悪の朝です
And what horrible morning it is.
ご安心を
Don't worry.
誰も部屋へ立ち入ろうとはしませんでした
No one tried to enter this room.
さあ
I see.
不審番をありがとう
Thanks for keeping watch all night. Even so, that didn't mean she'd been able to sleep peacefully. The continued ringing of the phone made her headache throb even more strongly.
電話にお出になられた方がよろしいかと
I think you should probably answer the phone.
あと良くないご報告が妹たちから
And then, I've got some bad news to report from my sisters.
良くない報告は後にしましょう
Let's leave the bad news for later.
先に電話を取ります
I'll answer the phone first. Natsui shook her head to wake herself and picked up the receiver. Then, she regretted not listening to Lucifer's bad news first, because she wanted the first thing she heard on this horrible morning to be something better than this. Yeah, I was gonna say, I hope it's this guy. We need him back. Morning, Mother. Mother. Did you sleep well? That voice told her that this horrible morning, this nightmare, would not stop.
約束は守りましたよ
I kept my promise.
私はずっと部屋にこもっていました
I've been holed up in this room this whole time.
もちろん電話もしていません
Of course, I haven't been on the phone either.
でもこの電話には出ちゃったよ
But you did pick up the phone just now, did you not?
それは
Well, ha 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 ha.
冗談だよ
Just kidding.
この電話は母さん思いの僕からのモーニングコールだ
This is just a morning call I am giving my beloved mother.
おはよう母さん
Morning, mother.
人はどれだけ苦労すれば
How far do you intend to mock me? Natsui gripped the receiver so hard it creaked.
パーティーの準備のために母さんには席を外してほしかったのだ
I wanted you to leave your seat so that I could set up the wait. I wanted you to leave your seat so that I could set up for the party.
おかげで
Huh?
準備が整っ
Thanks to that, everything is ready now.
たもちろん主賓は母さんだ
Of course, you are the main guest, mother.
何を始めるつもりですか
What are you planning to do?
それは今日のお楽しみかな
That is for you to look forward to.
大丈夫
Do not worry. I will not keep you waiting. It has already begun. Part of me thinks that, okay, mystery man here, mystery 19th man. What if he's the guy who ends up killing people, and he's intentionally setting it up so that Natsuhi is blamed? Because we know that he clearly wants to get revenge on her for some reason. We've already seen that Erika blames Natsui for the murders. And it sounds from it here, it sounds that he intentionally was like, hey, stay in your room, don't move, so you can't create an alibi, right? So if she was in her room, locked up in her room the whole time, couldn't answer the phone, and he was like basically putting the clamps down on her, then he was like, hey, I made it so that it would be impossible for her to create an alibi for the situation, and now I'm going to have her take the fall for these murders. If so, Erika falls for it completely. Well, sure, but we don't know true intentions of Erika. She says she just wants to find the truth to things, but like, and we saw just, and to be fair to everyone, especially to me, we saw a snapshot of Erika accusing Natsui. It could be any list of things. She could be accusing her for trying to get info somewhere else. She could just be accusing her to see her reaction. We don't know. We saw a snippet in time. I'm just putting theories out, you know. I'm putting my little feelers out. That is for you to look forward to. Do not worry, I will not keep you waiting. It has already begun. Oh, right. Wait a sec. There is someone I want you to hear. Huh? There was the sound of the receiver being jolted around. The phone was apparently being passed to someone else, but there was a clunking, clattering noise, as though it was taking a lot of effort to hand the receiver over. Who in the world could he be giving the phone to? No matter who this man gives the phone to, that can't be good news for me. Oh no, Kraus! Untie me! Coward! Huh? Dear? Is that you? Grrr. Grrr. Untie it. Untie it! It was, without a doubt, the voice of her husband. Oh, we got a hostage situation. However, he didn't respond to Natsui's voice. Perhaps he was bound somewhere in the darkness. Kraus, not realizing that Natsui was on the other end of the phone, repeatedly demanded that he be untied. Your husband is here. His eyes and ears are covered, so he won't be able to talk. But I think you could tell that he is in perfect health. What are you after? Let my husband go. I'll let him go tomorrow. If you two keep promises, that is. What are they? One is that you keep it a secret that I have your husband in my care. There will probably be a fuss when they are unable to find Kraus anywhere in the mansion. But you know nothing, so you will say nothing. Understand? I understand. What's your other condition? Oh, just a little game. At 1 o'clock today? You will go into the foremost guest room on the first floor of the mansion and hide in the closet.
客室？
A guest room?
どうして私がクローゼットの中などに？
Why should I go into a closet?
ちょっとしたかくれんぼだよ。
Just a little hide and seek.
誰にも見つからずに、そこで1時間隠れていることができたら、母さんの勝ち。
If you can hide there for an hour without anyone finding you, you win.
もし誰かに見つかったら、母さんの負け。
If someone does find you, you lose. God, that is so fucked. I love how this is being presented. Because you know he's clearly planned something. He either knows something is happening at 1, or is planning for something to be happening at 1.
負けたら
And if I lose,
どうだというのですか？
what happens?
別に何もないよ。
Nothing in particular.
遊びってそういうもんでしょ。
Is that not what playing is all about?
このかくれんぼに付き合ってくれたら、明日には夫を解放するよ。
If you play along with this hide and seek, I'll release your husband tomorrow. W-
その約束、
will you really
本当に守るんでしょうね？
keep that promise, I wonder?
もちろんだ。
Of course.
母さんこそ守ってよ。
Make sure you do too, mother.
約束を破れば、僕にはすぐにわかる。
If you break our promise, I will know right away. At that time, there was suddenly a loud knock on the door to Natsu's room. Her heart leapt automatically.
奥様いらっしゃいますか？
Madam, are you there?
おはようございます。
Good morning.
ゴーダとカノンでございます。
It's Gordon Cannon.
奥様、どうかお目覚めよ。
Madam, please wake up. The voices coming from across the door were Cannons and Godas. The knock had been wild and the voices a little shrill. It seemed that something strange had happened, that they were agitated.
何？
What is it?
どうしたの？
Did something happen?
何でもありません。
It's nothing.
使用人が来たようです。
Looks like the servants have arrived.
もう切りますよ。
I'm hanging up.
うん。
Sure.
僕の言いたいことは全部伝えたからね。
I've said everything I wanted to.
じゃあ、約束破らないでよ。
So, do not break our promise.
わかりました。
I understand.
あなたこそ約束を破らないのですよ。
And you don't break our promise either.
違うね。
You have it wrong.
母さんがそれを決めるんだよ。
That is for you to decide, mother.
僕に約束破らせないでね。
Do not make me break my promise.
母さん。
Mother.
今日一日母さんを見てるからね。
I'll be watching you all day today, mother. Oh. Clank. Lemon Delta slammed the receiver down on the antique phone. Then, the phone exploded into bits and became a golden splash. Then a cloud of gold butterflies, and then disappeared.
踊ってちょうだいね、夏日。
Dance for me, Natsui.
19年前の罪に怯えながらね。
Dance in fear of your sin 19 years ago.
私のターンも順調よ。
My turn's going pretty well.
さあ、ベルもどうぞ。
Okay, your turn now, Burn.
どうせ無駄なんだろうけど、警察通報を通じて内外の通信可否を確認。
I'm sure this is a waste of time, but let me confirm whether correspondence with the outside world, including reporting this to the police, is possible or not.
外線は使用不能。
It's impossible to make use of the external line.
内線は使えるみたい。
Looks like you can use the internal line.
台風で船も使用不能。
It's impossible to use a boat inside the typhoon.
クローズドサークルの出来上がりかしら。
I guess the closed circle is complete now.
おめでとう。これでベルンが完全に探偵に昇格ね。
Congrats! You're a full detective now, Burn. When the police intervene, they sometimes steal some of the detective's authority. However, the construction of the closed circle, the existence of police have been denied for all eternity. From now on, the authority of the detective piece will be totally guaranteed.
はいはい、ありがとう。ごちそうさま。
Yeah, thanks a bunch.
それじゃあ早速ゲーム開始といこうかしら。
Then I guess it's time to get this game started. Erica, you're the main character. Now, begin.
源氏さんまでかよ。
Erica, you're the main character. Accuse Natsui! Even Genji-san?
5人も殺されたのか。
5 people have been killed.
はい、
Yes.
あんなひどい。
And it was so horrible.
ゲストハウスの4人と全く同じだった。
It was exactly the same as the 4 in the guest house.
すっぱりとひどく鋭利な刃物で首を切られた。
The neck was sliced open with a terribly sharp blade.
僕が深夜勤だったのに不審者に気づけないなんて。
To think that even though I had the midnight shift, I didn't notice anyone suspicious.
自分を責めるんじゃね
Don't blame yourself.
え。もし犯人と鉢合わせだったら命を落としてたのは自分だったかもしれねえんだぞ。
If you bumped into the culprit, you might be the one dead right now.
その上電話も通じんときた。
On top of that, the phones aren't even connecting.
この天気じゃ船も来んやろ。
I doubt any boats will come in this weather.
えらいことになったで。
This is serious.
ということは犯人はまだ私たちの身近にいる可能性が高いということだ。
And that makes it very likely the culprit's so nearby.
なんですか。
Then what?
台風が過ぎて船が迎えに来るまで私たちは人殺しと一緒にいるというわけですか。
Does that mean we'll be trapped here with a murderer until the typhoon passes and the boat comes?
大丈夫ですとも。
It'll be okay.
こうしてみんなで一緒にいれば犯人だって手出しは。
If we all stay together like this, even the culprit won't be able to lay a finger on us.
ジェシカもなった。
Even Jessica? I can't believe it.
私たちミスミス殺されはしないわよ。
We won't let ourselves be killed.
ジョージの仇を撃ってやるわ。
I'll avenge George.
許さない。
I won't let them get away.
誰が犯人だろうと何が理由だろうと私はジョージの仇を許さない。
No matter who the culprit is or what the reason was, I won't let the one who killed George get away.
殺してやるわ。殺してやる。
I'll kill them. I'll kill them. Wow.
はい、皆さん、泣き言は十分ですか？ご静粛に。
Okay, everyone. Are you done crying yet? Silence, please.
クラウスさんはまだお見えにならないのですか？
Has anyone seen Kraus-san yet?
さっきから電話をおかけしているのですが、お出にならないのです。
We've been calling him for a while, but he hasn't answered.
受話器が外れているとか。
Could the receiver be off the hook?
いいえ、呼び出し音はします。
No, we could hear it ringing.
聞こえていないはずはないのですが。
There's no way he didn't hear it. That face.
どういうことだ。
What does it mean?
まさかクラウスおじさんも。
You don't think Uncle Kraus too?
やっぱりね。
Figures.
こんな時に不謹慎だけれどもゲストハウスの4人に源氏さんで5人。
I hate to say it at a time like this, but there were 4 in the guest house plus Genji to make 5.
もう一人いるだろうと予想はしてたわ。
I figured there would be one more.
どうしてよ。
Why?
どうしてそんなことがわかるのよ。
How could you know that?
あんたが犯人なの？
Are you the culprit?
あんたがジョージを殺したの？
Did you kill George?
やめなさいエヴァさん。
My girl Kyrie would never. Stop it, Eva-san.
今はそんなことをしとる場合では。
Now is not the time. Eva got agitated and grabbed at Kyrie. Nanja stepped in between them and it grew into a bit of a scuffle. Watching this, Erica smiled condescendingly and shrugged.
でしょうね。
Of course.
ゲストハウスの現場を拝見した時点で6人の犠牲は読めて当然です。
It's natural you'd guess that there were 6 victims after seeing the crime scene in the guest house.
4人しか死体がなかったので、あとの2人は誰だろうと思っていたくらいなので。
There are only 4 corpses, so it'd make you wonder who the other 2 were.
なんでそんなことがわかるのよ。
How could you know such a thing?
あんたが殺したの。
You killed them?
あんたがジョージを。
You killed George?
予算かエヴァ。
Quit it, Eva.
エリカちゃん、キリエさん、
Erica-chan, Kairi-san,
なんでそんなことがわかるんや。
how can you know that?
適当なことは言わんといてや。
Can't you think before you talk?
簡単な連想よ。
It's a simple connection to make.
ゲストハウスの犯行現場に書かれていた落書きは魔法陣。
The scribble drawn at the scene of the crime in the guest house was a magic circle.
魔法と殺人から連想するものを考えただけ。
I just try to think of things connected to both magic and murders.
碑文。
Oh, I guess it's all he said. So it's the epitaph, huh?
そうか。
I see.
第一の番か。
It's first Twilight. Huh? Huh?
どういうことですか？
What's going on?
いえ、私にもさっぱり。
Well, I don't have a clue either.
そんなことか。
Is that how it is?
魔女め。
That damn witch.
これはやっぱりベアトリーチェ様の仕業なの。
So is this really Beatrice Sama's doing?
あんたたち何を勝手に分かった風なこと言ってるのよ。
Why do you all keep talking as if you know something?
私にはさっぱりわからないわよ。
I don't have a clue.
説明なさいよ誰か。
Someone explain.
だからエヴァ、少し落ち着くんや。
I told you, Eva. Calm down a bit.
そういうことです。
That's how it is.
あの犯行現場の魔法陣を見た時点で
Ever since I saw the magic circle at that crime scene,
この殺人が碑文の第一の番をなぞった見立て殺人であり、犠牲者は6人であることは想像できていました。
I imagine this might be a plotline murder following the epitaph's first Twilight, which would mean there are 6 victims.
ただ魔法陣がそこに存在するだけで
Simply by the existence of the magic circle in that place,
フルダエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。
this level of reasoning is possible for Furuta Erica.
いかがでしょうか皆様方。
What do you think, everyone?
じゃあ、クラウスおじさん
So pompous.
殺されてるってのか。
So, Uncle Kraus was also killed?
そうだとも決めつけられません。
We can't be sure of that.
ここに来ないのはクラウスさんだけではありませんよ。
Oh, excuse me, Kraus-san isn't the only person who hasn't come here, right?
もう一人い
There's
らっ
one.
しゃいます。
There's one more. For just an instant, Natsui's brow furrowed. So, she hadn't been able to avoid the topic of the study after all.
まさか。親父。
You don't mean Dad?
おい、誰か書斎には連絡したんだろうな。
Hey, someone must have contacted the study, right?
もちろんお電話させていただきましたし、ノックもさせていただきました。
Of course we called, and even knocked on the door.
ですがそのお返事はなく。
But, there was no answer.
当主様はご自身の研究に没頭されておいでです。
Father is immersing himself in his research.
時に電話を嫌い、受話器を外し、ノックを無視することもあります。
He sometimes leaves the receiver off the hook because he doesn't want to be called and even ignores any knocking. Yeah, I was literally about to say, this seems a little convenient. Wouldn't this be possibly a golden opportunity to kind of just be like, oh yeah, that's weird, I haven't heard from him either. Oh no, where'd he go? He must have been murdered like everyone else or something. Strange.
しかし 呼び出し音はちゃんと。
But the phone was ringing.
とにかく
Anyway,
主人の無事を確かめる方が先です。
let's first check to see that my husband's safe.
主人の寝室へ行きましょう。
Let's go to his room. Asui stood up in a flurry and dashed out into the corridor. Rudolph and the others immediately chased after her, telling her to wait.
さあさあ皆さんもご一緒に。
Come on, let's all go together.
三流ミステリーも三流スプラッターも単独行動をとる人から死にますよ。
In both third-rate mysteries and third-rate horrors, people who act alone tend to die first.
いわんやこのゲームもまたしかり。
Yeah, this game is just the same.
ベアとっては三流だわ。
Beato really is third-rate. Oh, but in third-rate disaster movies and third-rate action movies, people who act alone do survive, right? Weird. Giggle. Giggle.
もはや碑文は解かれたというのに、
Even though the epitaph has already been solved.
誰が望んでこんな真似を。
Who's behind this farce?
ラムダデルタ教の駒と思われる19年前の男とやらの仕業かもしれません。
It might be the work of this man from 19 years ago, who is thought to be Lady Lambda Delta's piece.
おっと、そんなはずもありませんが。
Ah, yes. That can't be true.
これまでのゲームですでにベアとは赤き真実で
In the game up until now, Beato has already stated that Kinzo has vanished.
金蔵が消えて18人以上は存在しない。18人目は存在しないと明言しているわ。
Meaning that no more than 17 people exist and no 18th person exists.
そして今回はそれにエリカが一人加わって19人目が存在しないと明言されてる。
Now that Erica has been added, it's been stated that no 19th person exists.
19年前の男とやらが島に入り込む余地なんてないわ。
There's no room for this man from 19 years ago to appear on the island.
ならば、19年前の男は既存の人間の中の誰かが語っているか。
So, the man from 19 years ago is disguised as one of the existing humans.
さもなくば。
Or else.
赤で19人目が許されずともそこに19人目を紛れ込ませるなど
Even if a 19th person isn't permitted by the red.
わらわならば魔女ならば造作もなくやってのけるがな。
Slipping in a 19th person is no trouble for me, no trouble for witches.
面白くなってきたぞ。もうしばらく様子を見させてもらうとしよう。
Now it's getting interesting. Why don't we watch this a little longer?
それにしてもラムダデルタ教にベルンカステル教名
Still, those two witches.
いよいよに我がゲーム版にて好き放題を始めよった。
Have finally started to do whatever they please with my game board, haven't they?
分かっていて、お招きになったのではありませんか？
Didn't you know that would happen when you invited them?
退屈を嫌うわ。わらわも魔女なれば同じこと。
As a witch, I have the same dislike for boredom as they do.
この想定外さえも魔女なれば想定される喜びである。
Even the unexpected brings the kind of joy a witch expects.
よかろう。受けて立とうぞ。
Very well, bring it on!
受けて立つのは上等だけど、まずい流れよ。
It's great that you're so eager, but things have taken a nasty turn.
わかってる？
Get it?
ですな。
Indeed.
様子見を気取る段階とはやや言い難いかと。
Perhaps this isn't the best time to wait and see what happens next.
わかっておる。
I know that.
このまま行けば金蔵の存在が再び蒸し返される。
At this rate, Kinzo's existence will become an issue once again.
書斎の結界も長くは持たんな。
And the barrier around the study won't last long.
それだけじゃないわ。
That isn't all.
さらに厄介な展開になるわよ。
Things are going to get even worse.
いい？
See?
1手
Move 1.
2手
Move 2.
3手
Move 3.
詰めて
And then you're cornered.
夏日
Natsui. Gap whispered something into Byaku's ear. Byaku's mouth slowly widened into a grin.
エリカが全員を集めたのはむしろ我らには好都合です。
Erica bringing everyone together is actually convenient for us.
観測者の及ばぬすべての闇は我ら悪魔のもの。
All darkness outside the range of observers belongs to us demons.
今を逃しては打てぬ手かと。
This may be the only time to make that move.
夏日はキング
Natsui is the king.
動けぬ駒なれど取らせることは許されぬ
She can't move far, but we cannot allow her to be taken.
先手を取ろう
Let's take the initiative.
ここで失すると夏日が詰められる
If we slip up here, Natsui will be cornered.
ガープ頼めるか
Gap, can I count on you?
もちろん
Of course.
密室トリックもアリバイもミステリーなんて私がまとめて風穴を開けてあげるわ
I'll blow a hole through closed room tricks, alibis, and mysteries alike.
任せて私が始末する
Leave it to me. I'll handle it. Whoop! Gap was swallowed up along with the chair she sat in into a pitch black hole that opened on the floor and then disappeared. After that, a hole opened on the ceiling and spat just the chair back out, returning the place the way it had been. That's fancy.
厄介なことになりましたな。
This is becoming troublesome.
なるほどな
I see.
ラムダデルタ教にかかってはわらわすらも駒に過ぎぬというわけか
Against Lady Lambda Delta, even I am nothing more than a mere piece.
序盤は駒の損得より展開を急げという
So, in the early game, I must worry more about expansion than losing or taking pieces.
かなわぬなあの御人には
I'm just no match for that person.
そうはさせぬぞ夏日はわらわの使える最後の主
I won't let her do that. Natsui is the final master I will serve.
このベアトリーチェと契約する限り決して取ることかなわぬ駒と知れ
Know that this is a piece you'll never be allowed to take, so long as she has a contract with me, Beatrice.
クラウスの部屋は空っぽ
Krause's room was empty.
ベッドは空っぽだったけど
The bed was too.
それまでの5人の殺害現場と同じでおびただしい血痕が残されていたわ
But massive bloodstains similar to the other crime scenes remained.
でも死体はない
But there was no corpse.
ないわね
Nope.
じゃあ死んでない
Then he isn't dead.
ないかもね
Maybe not.
どういうこと
What's going on?
兄さんはどこにいるのよ
Where's Nissan?
この血まみれのベッドじゃな
Judging by this bloodstained bed,
考えたくねえがゲストハウスと同様に首を切られて殺されたと考えるのが妥当だろうぜ
I don't like to think about it, but you should probably assume that he was killed and had his neck cut open, just like the people in the guest house.
でしょうな。
Probably.
この出血量では無事を考えるのは難しい。
Judging by the amount of blood lost, it's hard to imagine that he's okay.
しかし
But
旦那様はどちらに
where did Kraussama go? Large amounts of blood stained the top of the bed, but there were no similar marks on the floor of the room. Whether Krauss had been seriously wounded and wandered off somewhere, or killed and carried somewhere, they had no clue where this somewhere might be. Got a thing. Oh, he's just been grayed. Large traces of blood left behind, making the situation similar to those of the other victims. Only victim of the first trial whose corpse was never witnessed. Huh. Natsui knew. Though Kraus had been sounding far from his best over the phone, at least he hadn't sounded like he was on the brink of death. This gray was not there before on the accusation scene. Ah. Ah. Interesting. Okay. So slight change. Let me see. At least he hadn't sounded like he was on the brink of death. Okay. In other words, these blood stains had to be a setup. That might not even be blood. However, just what was that man thinking? What's this supposed to be? What the heck? So, the first twilight, there were 6 sacrifices?
クラウス兄さんには自分の部屋の扉を施錠する習慣はないの？
Was Krasny-san in the habit of locking his door?
私たちは今鍵を開けずに入ったわ。
We just came in without unlocking it.
いえ、旦那様にも施錠の習慣が。
Yes, Krasama also had a habit of locking up.
当家では奥様のお言いつけにより
At this house,
公共の場所以外は施錠が義務付けられております。
Madam has ordered that all non-public areas be locked.
クラウスおじさんの部屋を開けられる鍵は何本あるんだ？
How many keys can unlock Uncle Krause's room?
旦那様のお持ちの1本の他にマスターキーが。
In addition to the 1 key Kraus-sama held, there's the master keys.
ああ、鍵がどうこうなんてくだらない論争です。
Oh, all that stuff about keys is a pointless argument.
源氏さんがすでに犠牲になっていることをお忘れですか？
Did you forget that Genji-san is already a victim?
彼のマスターキーは紛失しています。
His master key is missing.
ですから今やこの屋敷のすべての鍵は意味をなしません。
That means all the locks in this mansion are meaningless.
つまらないですね。
How boring.
つまりこの屋敷には密室殺人は今までもこれからも存在しないということです。
In other words, no closed room murders have existed or will exist in this mansion.
やれやれ。
Sheesh.
大切なミステリーになりました。
This is getting to be a pretty boring mystery. Erica laughed off this murder in disappointment, as though it was something she was watching on TV. Can't understand it. Why is her world so different from ours? It's almost like she's in a separate dimension from us.
ジェシカも
Was Jessica also
こんな風にベッドで
like this? In a bed?
そうよ。
Yes, that's right.
ジョージと同じに首を切られて。
Just like George, her neck was cut.
ジェシカ
Jessica,
ジェシカに合わせて
let me be with Jessica.
私ジェシカの顔さえ見てないんです。
I haven't even seen Jessica's face yet.
ジェシカジェシカ
Jessica! Jessica!
待てや、ナジーさん。
Wait up, Natsui-san.
まだ犯人が近くに潜んでいるかもしれない。
The culprit might still be hiding nearby.
一人にさせるのは危険だ。
It would be dangerous to let her be alone. Natsui flew out of the room and dashed towards the guest house this time. It was only natural. Natsui still hadn't even seen Jessica's dying face. Everyone probably thought that. Of course, even Natsui was half thinking that. The other half was her desire to shift everyone else's attention away from the study. Strange crimes had occurred, the gold had been discovered, and some relatives had even recommended Battler to be the successor. Even in these twisted circumstances, she had to protect Kenzo's secret. In my head is going to be racked by this suffering anyway. Please, just let my head explode right now. That way I won't have to suffer any longer.
では皆さん、
So, everyone,
夏日さんのためにも一度ゲストハウスへ戻りましょうか。
for Natsui-san's sake, let's return to the guest house for the time being.
死に顔を見たって何かが進展するわけではありませんが。
Though it's not as though seeing their dead faces is going to lead to any new developments.
お前には心ってもんがねえのか。
Do you even have a heart?
心？
A heart?
何ですかそれ。
What's that? The two faces there. The dichotomy. Just seeing her daughter's dead face wouldn't bring Jessica back to life, nor would it heal Natsui's anguish. On the contrary, she'd probably wail, wasting a considerable amount of time before being able to think properly again. This probably sums up Erika's screwed up argument. Just seeing their dying faces won't lead to any new developments?
進展するのよね、それが。
Like hell it won't.
ペアとの駒たちが面白い変化をもたらしてくれたわ。
Beatrice's pieces have brought about a really interesting change. Alright, and we're gonna end there for the night. We're ending there. We're ending at Natsui going to look at her dead daughter. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. That was fun. That was a fun stream. That was a fun almost 3 hours. Let's see. Today was Tuesday. Wednesday, I should be back on stream. I think we're going to start the Cuphead DLC. No stream Thursday for sure. Friday, I think I'll be on. But I'll say 50-50 shot. I might just take the night off as well. We'll call it maybe maybe potentially 2 days off there in a row. We'll see. Saturday, we'll do Umineko as well. If I am back Friday, it'll probably be Starfield. Maybe I've tossed around the idea of maybe doing Starfield after a few episodes of Odd One Out, just because we haven't done that, watched a couple episodes of that in a while. So if that's Friday stream happens, that's most likely going to be up next. Natsui's not having the best morning. Dude, Natsui hasn't been having like a great year. Seemingly she's had, I mean, it's obviously ratcheted up quite a bit. But ever since she had to keep up this lie, and her husband sucks, it's been not her days, for sure. Let's see. So yeah, we'll be back Saturday with Umineko. We'll try to do, hopefully, obviously, a couple external factors, but hopefully we won't be starting too late on Saturday. I think last Saturday I started quite late, so we didn't get to go too long. Hopefully I don't repeat that, but we'll see. Let's see. I hope I'm still on pace to finish this episode before the end of September. That's the goal. If we get close to September and it doesn't seem like it's going to finish, if we get to the end of September, I'll dial in some extra Umineko streams just to make sure it does happen. That's going to be the plan. That's going to be the plan on the back end of this all. In a twisted way, some of our problems are over now. Yeah. Yeah. God, that is twisted. that is a dire way of looking at it. And then she almost alluded to it a bit herself there. What's the ultimate way of her not having to worry about it anymore? If she was just to die, if she was to be killed. Oh, but that's a dark theme. That's a dark theme. Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thanks so much. I hope you appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great Wednesday as well. Stay safe, stay well, do good, be good. And I'll catch everyone in another stream, hopefully. Goodbye. Bye.